Good evening, and welcome to tonight's episode of Arcane Adventures. Welcome back after our 2-week hiatus, a little break for early summer. We hope that you've taken this time to catch up, but if you haven't, now is a great time to remind you that we have chapter recaps available for all of the most important chapters of Lorem Ipsum on our Lorem Ipsum playlist on our YouTube channel. Those highlight the most important details from each chapter, so you can catch up really fast if you need to. We still encourage you to go back and watch those episodes as you don't want to miss any of the other details, but at least you'll get the most important stuff in those 20 to 30 minute episodes. As a reminder, we also have quiz questions available every Tuesday and Friday under the post section of our YouTube channel. And also we release shorts in conjunction with that every Tuesday and Friday as well, highlighting the most iconic and comical moments of our session episodes. But that is all of our announcements. Welcome back once again, and let's jump into tonight's episode of Arcane Adventures. And welcome back. A battlefield. Plant parts everywhere. A dying mythic bloom withers away. Pura lays on the ground. A breath of life returns, color in the cheeks. But simultaneously, silently, Evadin draws her last breath and falls away from the eye of her companions. The party is preparing rejoicing, preparing celebration as Pura awakens, returned to us. No one notices what they didn't see. What happened just a few steps back. What happened in a conversation beyond this realm. A bargain, a plea, a request, a prayer. Struggling from combat. Wounded, battered, and bruised, Lorem Ipsum takes almost a sigh of relief. But Owunul, after being flung into a crippled jungle tree in the middle of this graveyard, cricket not far from where you're standing, you pull yourself together, regaining a grip on reality, and you watch what no one else witnesses. Evadin just kind of collapses on herself. It's quiet. There's a stillness in the air. But it is not unnoticed, even if it is just by you. So, Owunul and the rest of Lorem Ipsum, welcome to Chapter 7, Episode 6, A Tale of Two Temples. Owunul, we begin with you. What do you do?
I rush forward to the fallen body of my sister and desperately mumble a prayer to Helm as I check if she's still breathing.
You pray, and there is comfort that he is there with you in this moment. You're not alone, but there is no pulse.
Owunul sits there staring. He doesn't say anything for a good minute or two. Eventually, he gently cradles Evadin's corpse in his arms and walks over to where he's hearing the rest of the party with a somber look on his face.
And the rest of you turn to see the sight that Owunul now sees. A limp and lifeless Evadin.
Owunul is trembling from head to toe. I don't think it needs to be said what has happened from what it looks like. The despair on his face should say enough. Did anyone see her die?
I mean, we were. I know Pura went down. She seemed fine. Like, I don't.
Yeah, I thought she was
Was-
fine.
Was she
She was standing
struck
with
by
all of
the-
us at this.
Was she struck by the plant, or did it just?
I mean, we all got roughed up a bit, but
She was standing just next to me when Pura was. Pura, how are you?
Am I conscious at this time?
You are.
Okay.
Could I try and make a? Actually, I don't know if I'd be able to make a religion check, see if I could understand what possibly happened. Since I'm
You
not
can
exactly
certainly
a
try.
religious.
Yeah,
Fair
certainly try.
Why
Nope.
is everybody standing around? What
You were
what's going on?
dead,
Evadin is
Pura?
dead.
I
And now
was dead?
I mean, you
for a
at least
moment.
briefly had no pulse. I suppose that's not. I guess that might have just been an effect from the plant. Some of them have such effects.
Last I remember is reaching out towards Sizik, and then it just went black. What? Why is I
Who's
mean, that was
dead?
a lot of. Who's dead?
Evadin is dead.
Why is she dead?
I don't know. I found her like this.
I hate to spoil any moment, but we should probably move somewhere. I don't know if there's any other plants like this.
Oh, did Pura like witness any of the things that like Evadin did? Or, like, what's like?
Make a history check.
Okay. If I roll as bad as I did last week. Oh, okay. 18.
When you were here, Pura, in Aethlun, when it was a thriving swamp civilization, when it was filled with laughter and joy, you remember every so often that the elders would gather and they would speak to the deities, intercede on the behalf of the village, a very close commune with the one or two, maybe three of the Pantheon members. And you remember when you were close to this temple, you've actually been in this graveyard, though it looked much different than it does now. It wasn't covered in vines or trees. It was well kept and pristine. Beautiful flowers. But you remember when they would intercede and speak and pray that there would be this swelling of arcane energy, divine in nature, that would kind of replenish the life in the village, the natural growth. But even now that Aethlun has been destroyed, some 20 plus years later, there is a feeling opposite of that. There is a feeling of death. And not just because of your proximity to Evadin, but something stronger than that. Like the very real manifestation of death has been nearby. And then you blink and you're back here again.
I think death is near. think something had to happen with the gods. I don't know why Evadin is dead.
She died, and you seemingly come back to life. I know she had peculiar interests when it came to religion, but
Are you saying that Evadin gave her life from my own? That's crazy. She would never do that.
the absurdity is not lost on me.
What? But why would she do that? Why? There's no reason. Like, I'm just a drunken elf that has no purpose.
Well, now you have a purpose to make sure that whatever she did was not in vain. Or so help me Helm.
Why? Why would she do this? There's...
The important part here is she gave you another chance at life. Don't you dare waste it. And Owunul is going to walk off to bury his now dead sister.
Okay. As Owunul exits the graveyard, Altrix, after your comment, you turn to look at where this monster of a plant had sourced from inside the temple doors. But now that it has been burned and blasted to bits, those temple doors stand wide open. And there doesn't seem to be anything else inside. But the stairs lead up and then reconvene at the temple doors, and that is free for exploration.
I will look up to the sky and see Cannibal overhead. Just shout, "Keep a lookout! I'm gonna make sure nothing else comes out to surprise us." And I'll make my way to the temple.
Okay.
Quick question. Do I remember going into the temple at all?
Probably once or twice. Probably walked in there.
Okay.
Oh, so this is like his, is this his home place?
Yes.
Yes.
The remnants
We are-
of Aethlun.
Yeah. Yeah, we teleported to Aethlun, his homeland that was destroyed by the bad guys.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Do we need to go in? Should we go inside?
Well,
Oh,
you said there was
yeah.
some connection with the temple, some artifact, and those we're after, so yeah.
I think that's our best shot. I don't know.
I think I'll stay behind out here. Keep an eye on him. Well, you know what I mean.
I'm gonna follow Altrix.
Pura, do you enter the temple?
I think Pura's gonna need a minute, and then he would enter the temple. He needs to think about like why like Evadin would have done this, and
Sure.
what like purpose, if any, that his life could have.
Sure. For a moment, Rancor stands with Sizik and Pura in this battle of a graveyard. Owunul marches farther into the swamp, away from any remnant of civilization. Owunul, you reach a spot near the swamp's edge, where it goes from mossy ground to mossier water. You find a spot decent. And what do you do?
I lay her on the ground, and does Owunul remember any kind of funeral rites from Paladin School?
Sure. Absolutely.
He will go through the motions and recite those rites and pray his own private prayer to Helm once more. And one moment. I do not know if
It's okay.
he will take out a shovel and begin to dig a grave for Evadin.
Sure. Go ahead and roll me a religion check.
Luck point.
Okay.
Doesn't matter, they're the same number.
Okay.
This was a religion check?
Yeah.
That's a 6.
It's okay. Pray to Helm. A little probably is an understatement. A lot disturbed by the events. Caught off guard. You say the rites, they're a little rickety in some places. May have to go back and say a word again. But you get the message through. And that's the important part. Dig a hole. Can't quite get it 6 feet. Just out of fear that the swamp water might fill in the hole if you dig too far down. But after a while, after saying your prayers, after saying your ritual rites, you are left in that final moment where what is tangible, you must let go.
I had hugged the corpse one last time. And lower it as best I can into the pit. And I mutter softly to myself, I'm sorry I failed. And
you feel... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
And I start to cover the body with dirt.
Sure. As you stand there, just for a moment before laying the dirt back into this grave, you feel a comfort. One familiar, and one a little distant, different, odd. You feel a hand on both of your shoulders. And you can almost glimpse into a different realm. But then you're brought back to the current. You feel the presence of Helm protecting you, holding you. But you also feel the presence of the person that guards the soul. That being the soul matron. And you cover the body.
I make a silent vow, a promise. Protect more, to be better, to be faster, to be stronger. Prevent this from happening to the people who I've come to be so close to again.
And
I
Evan.
swear it on my remaining life.
Evadin, you are beyond the physical realm, beyond the ability to feel, beyond the ability to hear or see. You stand on a stretching dark horizon, but it is not scary. It is welcoming. And you feel, even in the silence, the compatriot, your deity, the goddess you have come to know, in stride alongside you, shepherding you to what lies next, what lies beyond. Is there anything you wish to say as you say goodbye?
Is this something that like Owunul hears and stuff like that?
You have no idea.
Do I feel like Owunul is like kind of watching or something like that at all, or nothing?
You, again, have no idea.
No idea. I got to live the life I wanted. One where I choose my own path.
And you know, with certainty, that you're not saying goodbye to her, just to everything else. And there comes a place where she stops walking. There's no smile, but you can feel it. This is the place that you continue forth. But she does not. But yet, she'll always be with you. And speaking of being with someone, she tangled your soul with Pura's. What do you leave Pura with?
You're probably asking why I did what I did. Realistically, you'll always be one of my drinking buddies. She doesn't say anything else.
Okay. And Evadin passes into another realm. And Pura, you are left in solace with a reminder that even though you might feel purposeless sometimes, every action, no matter how small, means something to someone. Farewell, Evadin. We will miss you. And we cut back. Temple doors pushed open wide. Altrix, Paloma, you step in to what once was a pristine elven temple, now reclaimed by the very nature that it was built around. But it is not unrecognizable. You can still feel that presence as you walk in. This is a sacred place. Pura, climbing up the steps, you also walk into the chamber. Rancor and Sizik, what do you do?
Oh, I'll be waiting out still for Owunul.
Sure.
Take a seat. Just sit outside.
Okay. All right. Well, the three of you push into the temple. You walk through a foyer, the remnants of what used to be probably a rug or carpet, now tangled and rotting. Tattered tapestries dangle, mangled, burned, reclaimed on the walls. Old torches, long cold, with the remnants of ash and soot on their ends. And you walk forth until the temple opens into a large circular dome. On the floor, there is a vast array, a mural of some kind, depicting two people, a man and a woman. One bears in his hands, the burning light of Aneris itself. And the other, the woman, faces him and holds, just in her two hands, two moons, the temple of the star and moons. As you cast your vision overhead, the deep navy blue dome is covered with these small, occasionally sparkling pieces of glass that dot across the ceiling. Here the three of you are.
I guess general sort of investigation / perception stuff, looking around, trying to look for any more threats.
Sure. Yeah, you scan around very briefly. Seems to be that you are alone.
Okay.
Who is? I'm standing here. The three of us.
Yes, you, Paloma, and Altrix.
Do I? You can also make like a investigation check or like a history check.
Sure. What are you looking for?
Any similarities from my past? Anything that I would recognize as like, oh, like this person is so and so kind of thing.
Sure. Yeah, you can give me, again, I'll offer you 3 different checks. Each one has different results. You can make a religion check, an investigation check, or a history check.
Can I do all 3, or is that too much?
Try one at a time first.
Okay. I'll do religion.
Okay.
16.
Okay.
Wait, sorry, 15.
15. As you look down, you see the large mural. Again, it's almost a mosaic in the stone floor. And you know for sure that this is the depiction of Aneris, the deity, and also the Moon Mother, or better known as Elistre. The two seem to be in some kind of perpetual state of giving light to their people.
I think I remember something. That one's Aneris, and that one's
Elistre.
Elistre.
Elistre. There you go.
I was gonna say Babelistre. Elistre. The moon and sun god and goddess. Is there anything so Aneris has a flame, right? Is that what we said?
Yes, it is
Is there
an actual star in his hand,
a star? Okay.
or the depiction of a star.
Okay. And is he giving it to Elistre?
No, it seems to be that they are standing far enough apart. They seem to be just kind of presenting it, but not actually giving it.
Is there another mural? Like a second scene or anything?
Make a perception check.
14.
14. You glance around the room. Again, it's largely barren. There are tables that have been tipped over, books that are far beyond legibility at this point, rotting as their pages are faded away. But there's one spot back at the back side of this room that you approach. You remember here that there used to be a large tapestry. That tapestry is missing. Instead, the metal hook where it hung probably 40 feet above your current location, where it once was held to the wall. As you look, you also remember there being a basin on a table here. Basin of water. Holy water, most likely. But that basin is also missing. Instead, the table lies bare. But the wood is ajar, as if it's covering something.
Can I walk up to the table
Sure.
and I guess try to move it?
Sure.
If I think it's ajar.
Yeah. Kind of almost can lift the top of the table off, if you wish. Excuse me.
Okay.
You hear the splintering of wood as old hinges seem to have rusted at this point. But wood cracks as you open it, and inside is a switch, a lever of some kind. Looks arcane in nature, as there's various glyphs that are inscribed around it.
I turn toward Altrix and Paloma are. I think I found a switch. There used to be this big tapestry here, and there's a table here with a water basin, if I remember right. But it looked like it was really weird, and there's a switch.
What to?
Do I have any idea?
With the history roll you gave me, no.
Okay. No
It's
idea
alright.
at all. But there's a switch.
hit it, I guess.
I suppose.
Are you sure? I mean, it's just kind of a random switch here.
How else do we find out what it does?
Okay. You know, we did just get attacked by a giant flower monster, and all right. I reach for the switch and flip it.
Pura, so easily swayed, and Paloma, the instigator of perhaps all things, but we'll find out. No, I'm kidding. You flip the switch, and there is a little bit of latency. Nothing happens at first, but then one by one, the glyphs alight with a purple hue to them, and suddenly the temple rumbles. And outside, Rancor and Sizik, and now the approaching Owunul, returning from the woods, can visibly watch as the temple vibrates with a low hum, and some of the vine clusters remnant of the beast you have just encountered begin to fall off where they were stuck on rooftops and collapse to the ground. Something is happening.
A lot of shaking.
Does it look like the walls are gonna fall or anything, or like?
No, does not seem to be damaging the structure.
Okay.
It's
What,
just vibrating violently, I guess.
Yep, just vibrating violently. But Sizik,
That sounds like an earthquake. Is this an earthquake?
You're welcome to go inside and find out.
Sizik, do you feel that?
Yes. I'm not sure what. Or I'm not sure why this is happening.
Is the flower thing getting back up?
No.
Should you go check on them? Make sure they're not dead?
I think that you can check on them just as well as I can.
You're a little faster, but... Okay. Rancor will go, and having the blind man go up the steps of the temple that's currently shaking is probably not the smartest idea, but he will attempt to and can figure out what's going on.
Sure. And Sizik and Owunul are the two of you just standing outside.
I made a promise. I'm going to try to protect my friends if I can.
Sure.
So I'm going to go inside and try to figure out what's going on, and if anybody needs healing, which it just now occurs to Owunul that, you know, after what just fucking happened outside, someone probably needs healing, so...
Okay. And then Sizik.
No.
Okay. All of you rush into the temple, leaving Sizik outside in the graveyard. Those of you coming into the temple are just in time as Altrix and Paloma and Pura have to step away from the mural on the floor as it begins to rotate and then fractures, but not in a breaking way, but in a separating way, as portions of it retract back as they lower into the floor as it spins, revealing another mural underneath it. But this one more mechanical in nature. There is movement on the floor, a slow passing of time as you all now have front row seats, I should say, to a celestial calendar tracking the cycle of Anaris and our two moons, Prim and Felro. And the quaking comes to a stop.
Are you okay in here?
We're just fine.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
calendar
What was
under
all the
floor.
shaking?
Is that what this is?
Yeah, that's the sun, and that's Prim, and that's Felro, And then are there stars on it as well? Or just the sun and the moons?
There are no stars, Paloma. But you can make an investigation check as to why that might be.
Now, while she's
I
doing
can't.
that, I'm going to.
Put that on what-
Can I try to figure out who's the least healthy member of the party currently?
Sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure all of you are doing really bad, right?
I've
Okay.
already casted Cure Wounds on myself.
Okay.
That's crazy. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and cast Prayer of Healing. We're gonna get 2d8s. And I'm just gonna be doing that while she investigates because it's gonna take 10 minutes.
Sure. Okay.
Do I only have like 1 hit point? Because I assume I.
Yes, you have 1 hit point. Yeah.
Okay.
1 hit point.
Okay then, that is going to be 2 8s, so that is going to be 16.
Okay.
And then we get the benefits of a short rest.
Yes, so you can roll hit dice and regain more, which I would highly recommend you do.
Yep.
Not like we're gonna do anything else.
Everyone except for Sizik is welcome to take that.
Okay,
And then Paloma, whenever you're ready, give me that investigation roll.
Yes. That's going to be a 16.
16. All right.
Hold on.
You are glancing at the floor, very curious as to why no stars are depicted. And then it dawns on you that, in fact, the dome overhead might be familiar to you as someone who has studied constellations. You realize that those little shards of glass, if you trace lines between them imaginarily, they are constellations. So you have the calendar of star and moons here, and then overhead, the calendar of the stars.
And what day is it?
It is the 26th of Lyra.
Okay.
Yes.
Do we take 18 and then whatever we rolled for the short rest?
You take 16 and then you add whatever you rolled for the rest.
Okay, and then for the short rest, do you just roll 1 dice, or how does that?
You can roll as many as you would like. Just know that when you take a long rest, you only regain up to half of those back. So you're level 8 currently, so you can only regain 4 back every long rest. But you can spend all 8 of them right now if you want to.
Okay. Can I do a healing potion?
Sure.
To drink it while we're just standing around?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now, also, I'm a little confused here. So with my necklace, right?
Yeah.
It says that so whenever I roll a hit point die to gain hit points, is that just for like short rest and long rest, or is that also for healing potions?
I believe it's
Hit point die would just be short
yeah,
rest.
Yeah, it says hit die,
Just
so
the short
it's
rest.
just your short rest. Yeah.
Although if you have another ability that allows you to reroll hit point dice like the durable feat, that would also apply.
Yep. Fair.
Okay. Thank you.
Is the calendar accurate?
You, based on your most recent view of the star and moons, it does seem to be accurate still. Still in operation.
So, Pura, what exactly are we looking for?
Well, I mean, I heard from my elders of the tribe that like there's something really powerful in this temple, and I've been up here when I was like maybe like 50 years old or so, and I don't know, something. I'm guessing it maybe has to do with the star, with the with with Naris holding it, and
Looking
Evanril,
for something.
Illustrate.
Elistray,
Okay, it's okay.
holding it.
Yes, Rancor.
Mr. Mathor. I
Yes,
will
sir.
have to take magic.
Yes. There is detect magic up now. There is magic you detect, is what I meant to say, in this temple. And obviously the calendars seem to be operating at an arcane basis. They do not seem to be running on gears. They seem to be running and moving slowly with an arcane contraption. You are picking up divination magic, enchantment magic, and also, what's the range on that?
I believe it's a 30-foot radius around
30-foot radius,
me.
okay.
Let me
Yes.
double check.
That is correct.
Okay.
Within 30 feet of yourself. So that is a radius, I believe.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. You also feel a little bit of illusion magic in your vicinity.
In what direction?
It seems to be on the wall. So there's a little bit of a staircase that kind of walks down to this recessed floor. Is only a couple of feet below the actual floor. But there seems to be a little nook that seems to be hidden by some kind of illusory magic.
I will go investigate.
Okay. And as you put a hand up to it, the illusion flickers out.
I
There's
found
a-
something.
A little bit of a cavity here.
Cavity as in like a passage, or as in like a little nook someone would hide in.
Like a nook that you would put stuff in.
Pantry.
A pantry in the floor. Yeah, that's right. A cellar.
Altrix, can I get your eyes for a moment?
I'll walk over.
I trust him to make the investigation check more than me.
Ooh, I will investigated the thing.
Okay. Make an investigation check.
All right, y'all ready for a nat one?
Yes. Yes, I am. It's been coming.
Can we guidance?
Oh,
Guidance,
well.
okay. It's a natural 1 plus 3.
Well, I don't think I need to roll guidance because that is a nat 20.
Hey, there we go. Okay. For a total of. This is important.
20. I guess with guidance, technically.
Do the guidance.
Oh, just got a 1. So 26.
Okay. Over here, barely making some DCs. It's important. There are a couple of things in this little hidden space. There is a circlet of some kind, what you would wear on your head. There is a page of a notebook that seems to be somehow sustained. It's obviously hidden away from the elements. And then there is also a dial of some kind, a spherical shaped dial that you can almost roll around.
Okay.
That is
Orb of
mounted.
time.
One at a time. This
Yep.
dial thing.
Yep.
Does it look in any way similar to maybe some of the instruments we saw on the airship?
No.
Okay.
Totally different. This dial is mounted into the stone. It is part of the building.
Gotcha. Okay. Page.
Okay.
Wait, so is it like one of those?
It's like a little
It's like
stone plate, and there's an orb in the middle that you can roll around on a track inside of the.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Pick up the page though, Altrix. What languages do you speak and read and write?
I know Common, Draconic, Elvish, and Gnomish.
Okay. You can't read this. You pick up hints of Elvish script in the writing, but it is an unfamiliar language to you.
Then I guess I'll turn my attention to that circlet for
Okay.
now.
It is a circlet. Seems to be made of glass. little tiny beads of glass that are strung together with a wire you can place over your head. The glass shimmers occasionally with color, even though there's no light hitting it, but seems to kind of almost translucently transition between a purple and then a green and then a blue, yellow and then a red, just kind of swaying.
Is it a pale circlet?
No, it's not glass.
I'd ask.
That's not magical. It is just a circlet.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. You are picking up magic on that now.
Okay.
Sorry, Rancor.
Those. Yeah, with those things.
What does the paper say?
Don't know. Can't read it. Pura, can you read this?
Let me see it.
Hand it over. While he does that,
Pura.
I'm going to cast Identify on the circlet.
Copy. Okay. Pura, what languages do you speak, read, and write?
Celestial, Common, Draconic, and Elvish.
Okay. You also cannot read this.
Is there any clues?
It
I
again,
can see.
like Altrix got for himself. It does appear Elvish in nature, but older Elvish script, but still a
Older
little bit
than,
different.
like, 300 years or whatever?
Far older.
What'd y'all find?
I knew I should have taken comprehend language.
There's this.
Could I try reading it?
Sure.
Go for it, man. I don't know.
horse.
So it's not Gnomish, it's not Common, it's not Elvish, it's not Draconic.
I speak
Celestial.
Common and Celestial.
It is neither of those languages.
Well, I tried.
All right, hand it over. Let's just go one by one.
Okay, we're just gonna go down the list. Yeah, I'm gonna hand it over to Paloma.
I think, well, at least Paloma has a new.
Okay,
Okay.
Paloma, what languages do you speak, read, and write?
Aarakocra, Orin, Common, and Sylvan.
Okay, it is Sylvan.
Yeah.
I was like, come on, guys, you can do it.
Language?
I was like, I
Mason?
know there's at least 2 people in the party that speak Sylvan.
What does it say?
It says in a very cryptic entry. I suppose I should read.
Just a grocery list.
There is the number 158 in the corner. Again, in Sylvish dialect, the numbers do appear a little different. And then it reads on the page in a very rushed pen stroke: "The sapling of the Father, given to the one who paints with heart and mind, taken by bloody hands for noble cause, handed into darker deeds beyond my breath."
Can we get a transcript of that?
Yes, you can.
Think about it.
Is she reading this out loud?
Sure.
I have no idea.
Fair
Oh, it's-
transcript.
It was a day,
It's
or
like twice
it
as
was,
long as it should.
Mason, if I may,
Yep.
as someone who grew up around elves that speak in riddles,
Uh-huh.
is there perhaps any form of translation I can bestow upon this to make it make any sense?
You can certainly try.
All
Let's
right.
just do a general intelligence check.
All right, another nat 20.
Guidance.
Guidance.
Okay, I did post that in reference for your view.
also, would
Okay.
I have heard anything from, like, the elders about, like, old tales? or
Um,
anything?
I'll get you to there in a second. Let's see what Altrix gets.
So I got another natural number.
It's a natural one, though.
Perhaps.
Yep.
It does
Altrix,
have
you
a
are-
+8. If that
You're studying it, but let's be honest, you never really understood what they were ever saying.
Damn.
And so it's really
Damn,
hard to
that's
translate
crazy.
even now.
Yep. This is gibberish. I think it's a
Yeah.
dead end.
Yeah. But, all right, Pura, give me a history check on this one. You are muted, by the way. Okay.
History said, sorry.
Yes.
10.
Historical. 10. Yeah, it just seems to be what it is.
Okay.
Altrix, as you finish casting Identify, this is the Starglass Circlet of the Dawncaller.
That's a lot of words. Hold up.
My goodness.
Inventory, equipment.
Okay. I'll send you the name so you can just type it in your thing.
No, but what is it again?
Yeah.
The Starglass Circlet of the Dawncaller.
Thank you.
What does it do?
It calls stars.
It's a
Owens is
Dawncaller.
going to check it.
I make it day. That way the orb of time is useless.
Yep.
No! Sadness.
Yeah, so what does it do?
What does it
You can read the description.
No.
You didn't send me a description.
You have to look it up on your inventory.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
That's why I sent you the names.
Amazing. Truly astounding.
I manage my inventory in a separate thing because
That's your
D&D
fault.
Beyond is angry.
That's your fault.
All
No,
right,
it's D&D Beyond's fault, let's be honest.
it
Yeah,
weighs
right, it is.
1 pound.
That's all you get. That's the only detail.
Yes. All right. Add item, equipment. Where'd it go? There it is. Forged of prismatic smooth glass, this seems to twinkle like a starry sky. This circlet was once worn by a priest known as the Dawncaller. Okay.
Okay, is there anything on what it does?
No.
Yes. Dawn Call. Once per day, you may cast Augury using daylight, starlight, or
Oh.
moonlight instead of material components. Casting the spell does not consume a spell slot. So essentially, we have to capture light.
Awesome.
Just any light? Or
It
light?
makes use of light. I don't know if you have to like put it in a bottle or
If
you
I
just
could put
go
light in a
outside.
bottle.
What a
I'm not sure.
wonderful way to make one of my spells obsolete.
No, not obsolete.
It doesn't even consume a spell slot.
Yeah,
There's
so you
no
it's once per day.
downside.
you could use it. And
I don't
get
even use that
what
spell
extra
that
cast-
often. Once a day
Yeah,
is
yeah,
more than I
whatever.
use.
Whatever.
So nice.
Hey, speaking of Sizik, where is Sizik?
Where?
If I remember right, he was still outside of the thing.
And y'all just left him by himself?
With a missing
Hmm.
eye.
I'm gonna go check
I wasn't
on
told.
him. I'll leave y'all to figure out the ball and the stone thing.
I'm gonna figgle it out.
Figure it out. Okay.
Figure it
Altrix, you quickly exit to figure out what's going on with Sizik. And Sizik, are you still in the same place that they all left you?
Yeah, I'm just sitting on the steps.
Okay. How are you managing your bleeding, by the way? You are missing an
I-
eye, or it's
I
been
haven't
punctured.
been.
Yeah, it's just dripping. As you approach Altrix, there's just a streak of blood down Sizik's face.
It is
oh,
behind
shit.
that like half makeshift eye patch out of the petal
Yeah.
and vine.
I will rush down, kind of like grab you, move the eye patch, and just start, pouring some stuff on the wound as I cast Cure Wounds on you.
Yeah,
For 15 hit points.
that is more than I had at the time. Thank
That's
you.
how healing's.
Yeah.
It was. Thanks.
All right, Sizik.
I'm sure Owunul is the one that you should be worrying about.
Well, we got plenty to worry about.
What's inside?
Just more questions.
As expected.
Yeah. Here, let me take a look at that eye.
It's fine. Doesn't hurt as bad now.
In any case, need to make sure it's clean. Whatnot. Something tells me this plant isn't very sanitary.
Alright. Do what you will.
I'll just kind of like peel up the eye patch. I'll just kind of, stare at it for a moment. Wound isn't that deep. Looks like, didn't quite reach any of the, important things, so to speak. I should be able to fix it.
See out of an entire eye. I'm not exactly sure that you can describe that as not so bad.
Well, I can fix it. I'll just need
more wood and springs.
Not exactly. I'll need some time and okay, I'm back. I'll just need some time to work it out. I had poked around a little bit on ocular prosthetics when I was, first looking for stuff in your leg, and then I, just thinking about, Rancor or whatnot, looked into that, kind of outside of my field to help him, but I should be able to make this work. I'll just need, something to catch light.
Something to catch light?
Well, how your eye works of sorts, takes in light, processes it, whatnot. I just need something to act as sort of a pupil. I'll figure it out, though. Don't you worry. I'll take care of you.
Okay.
Come on. We can't have anyone hanging out on their own. Not out here.
I'm fine. If anything happens, I can just run inside. Sure, they need you in there. More than I do out here.
Oh, I'm gonna know about that. We found a note that I couldn't read. Funnily enough, only Paloma could.
Yeah.
Quick question for DM.
Mm-hmm.
Atop this temple, this is kind of like a relative high point in the village.
The trees still stand much higher than the temple does, but in terms of structures, it does reach a relative high point.
I want to just kind of like look out across this place. Try to figure out what it was and what happened.
Are you doing the Eyes of Cannibal? Or are you just...
I cannot.
Okay, so you're just...
He's not a familiar.
Okay.
He is an independent creature.
Sure.
He's just a pet.
Just a guy.
Basically.
Dude.
Just chilling.
So you're just going to kind of scout out the area on the ground.
I mean, kind of take what I can from here, and then if I'm not getting anything, yeah, I'll just start poking around.
Sure. Okay. We'll come back to that in a moment. Back inside the temple. Paloma, Rancor, Pura, Owunul. What now?
Does the ball look, except for the socket thing it's in, does it look like it's connected to any mechanism? Or
Does
no,
not. Yeah, not really. Not from your initial judgment.
Is there any way to like
I-
move the calendar that I can see?
The calendar's on the floor.
Right.
Yeah, seems to be all just stone discs that are slowly rotating.
Can I
There's no
try
way
to
to
move
like push
this?
them.
Does not
Well,
appear.
they're
to be
already
a way.
rotating. I guess we just have to find a way to stop them in the right spot.
Yeah, but if they're rotating in real time, the right spot could be like months from now.
Oh, that's true. Hmm.
what happens if I spin the ball?
You spin it.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Is that a confirmation that you want to do that, Dan?
Spin the ball. Do it. Do it. Do it. I want to see what
I would like a
happens.
second opinion.
Uh,
Owunul says
Whatever.
spin to
Do it.
win.
I spin it.
Well, you don't see what happens. However, that's crazy, right? However, Pura, Paloma, and Owunul, the ball is moving very fast. So very quickly, little beams of light just kind of drop from the ceiling, beaming through various aspects. And the three of you can make an investigation check.
Okay. I'm gonna. Okay.
I will take this is a group check for the three of you, by the way. So as long as two of the three of you succeed, it'll be okay.
All right.
I did
Another luck point. I'm not using them for anything else anyway.
Do I have an advantage? Because this is like non-adaptable.
Probably not for this.
Okay.
Investigation, eh? That means I
Yeah.
have -1 to my roll.
Yeah.
I got a 14.
Okay, Paloma. 2 and Pura.
No.
9.
9.
We have no idea what's
Yeah.
happening, Mason. Sorry.
Yeah, y'all don't know what's going on.
Bro, this light show looks awesome.
Light
though.
show just. Yeah.
Do it again. Do it again.
I think the best course of action is to go find Altrix.
What do you mean? We're doing fine.
I don't know.
They're not investigators.
These lights make no sense to me.
I
Does
think
my
they're.
detect magic go off when the lights?
I think they're
It
just
does
pretty
do
lights,
things.
man. I don't know.
Does not pick up them as magical.
I think they're just pretty lights.
I'm
But
gonna
sure,
go
let's
try to find Altrix.
Okay. You leave the temple to find Sizik, who is sitting in the
Oh,
graveyard
Altrix.
by himself. I know.
Oh.
And then you don't see Altrix beyond that point. Just Sizik.
This is
Says 8 Altrix.
Altrix! Altrix! We need you! Sizik! Sizik!
I told him to go back inside, but he walked off to go do something.
What was he doing?
Said he needed to find something that captures light.
Oh, well, I have just found light, so, I think, did you see which way he walked off?
I'll cast a message. So
Okay.
as long as Altrix is
Okay.
within 120 feet,
I don't think he's made it that far yet, so it probably reaches them.
Altrix Pura just came out of the temple. He's looking for you.
120 feet does. Don't hear him yell, but I do hear the message.
No, you do hear him yell.
Yeah.
But then immediately after that, get a message as well.
Yeah, so I'm like basically at the base of this temple, essentially.
Yeah, just a little past the graveyard, more into town itself proper.
Right. I'll just head back.
Okay. You return once again, just find Pura and Sizik in the graveyard.
Altrix, Rancor, spun the little thingy on the wall, and there's light beams that went flying, and Paloma and I have no idea what the hell's going on, but I assume maybe you might?
I will just walk in.
Okay.
I'm walking you.
I will take that 26 from earlier. That's why I said I'll hold on to that. And the light show is still happening as the ball is still spinning, because Rancor is still like pushing it. And it takes you a moment to like figure out what is happening as it's happening so quickly. But you realize that every time that little orb that Rancor is moving shifts in a particular spot, it is revealing a pinhole in the roof. Behind one of those little shards of glass representative of the constellations. And so various ones alight at different points.
I'll just kind of walk over to the thing and just kind of like finagle the circle to just kind of stop where it highlights that pinhole.
Sure. And there's multiple pinholes in the roof. So you get a couple of the constellations to be partially illuminated when it comes to a stop.
Yep. So I'll do that. Just kind of point up to the roof. So that's step one. Do you have anything to put in those or something?
I don't know what's going on, man.
Which constellation
Step one.
light up?
I knew you would ask me, Anna. You see, if I can find what I'm looking for, it should be crazy, right? Currently, it is a portion of citrine and a portion of Vispa.
Okay, those don't match any of the names you gave me.
The diamond and the spider.
Thank you.
You get the layman's names.
Yep,
As if Paloma's going to know the real ones.
that's fair. Yep, and just to clarify, citrine is the spider. And then the other stuff. Yes.
So, what do you mean that's step one? What does the spinning ball do?
So there's pinholes in like, so there's, let me just make sure I have the scene right. Of these like beams of light going around the room, highlighting these pinholes, and then these pinholes are located on those constellations.
So on the roof, there are various shards of glass, and behind that are various pinholes that are opened to illuminate those shards of glass at various configurations.
Gotcha. So it's like the light's going through the pinhole to illuminate those.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay.
The light's doing what? Oh, Owunul's afraid.
And so it's, it's bringing notice to the spider and the diamond.
In this current position, yes.
Yeah. And only
This is-
only portions of them are illuminated. And both of them are missing a star or two.
I found all the
Looking
fancy
back
names.
at
There you
the
go. It's like, I know I gave you
model, like on the ground of the sun and the or not the sun, Inaris Ilethia.
and the moon
Are
and Colorado,
those
yeah.
adjustable?
Does not seem to be adjustable, but it does seem that if you were to align certain constellations properly at a certain time, that something else might line up.
Pura, was there any, like, special festival or day y'all would celebrate in the village?
History check.
My man, you lived here.
It's okay.
For a while, you
Ooh.
had kids here.
17.
17.
Nah, don't remember that.
Uh,
Don't remember.
Yes, there were two major festivals. One was called the Birth, and the other was the Day or Festival of the Star and Moons.
And
I
what
wonder
day
which
would
one's
the day?
important.
I wonder.
I think it's the first one, guys. We should go investigate the first one.
And which day might the day of Star and Moon come up?
Right. The Day of Star and Moon would occur on Luaxis 21st.
Uaxis.
And hypothetically, what would be the
What's
most
the other name
prominent?
for that month?
Lontif.
Thank you.
And hypothetically, what would be the most prominent constellation in the sky at that time?
Ask Paloma.
Poor friend.
What'd you just say?
The spider. Yeah.
It would be the spider. So the spider would be the primary.
And therefore,
the
the diamond
diamond
might
would
be the
be-
birth.
The diamond would be visible, but it wouldn't be the primary. The spider is the primary on that day.
To answer your question, the Aster. I mean, it has been like 40 something years.
Like
S-
25, but yeah.
I mean,
Elves
flies when you're
don't know
drunk.
time.
Yeah,
Mhm.
time goes by crazy.
Time is relative. Into elves, that time is very relative.
Yeah.
Astrith of the 21st was the Moon and Stars Festival.
Yeah, Luaxis 21st.
The Duaxis 21st. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So we have to reveal the right constellation on the right date.
Maybe. Are any of the months am I able to read, or does it say
No, you cannot read. You are
Luaxis.
illiterate.
Luaxist on a dial or something?
No, it does not say that on a dial. You just have to kind of roll it around to try to get that.
I guess just sort of put anything else in this room to adjust, twist, turn, bop it, squeeze it.
Shove
You
it.
know.
Pull it.
Y'all are awful.
Load it.
Yeah.
You gave us a bunch of puzzles, Mason.
No,
Bop it
this
as
is,
a
no,
therefore.
this is exactly what I'm here for. At first glance, no, it does not seem like there's anything else you can move. But Owunul did mention, how to possibly move the disc in the ground, and they're spinning at real time, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they can't be moved. That just doesn't. There's no obvious way of how to accomplish that.
All right.
Maybe I could try physically.
Where
moving
wits
them.
fail, brute force shall prevail.
Oh,
Wait, Altrix, before you break something.
you mean before I break something?
Before Ono breaks something. Dungeon Lord, you did say the calendar dial was magical?
Yes, it does seem to be moving, not with mechanisms or gears, but some arcane in nature. An enchantment and divination are keeping it moving.
Before this big man breaks something, could I attempt to fiddle with the magic and adjust it to
That is
possibly?
just a little bit beyond your capacity.
Hey, better yet.
I did things in.
Here's
Yeah,
and
what
he's like,
I shall.
ancient.
Before we do anything, I will spend a minute and cast augury.
Okay. There you
With your newfound augury powers.
with this necklace. Should we brute force this mechanism?
Wheel and woe.
Well,
Whoa.
Whoa.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I don't think we're gonna sit here and wait however long.
I don't know. I mean, how long until that day?
How long until what day?
Um, something 21st. I can't remember what it was called.
The wax is 21st.
Amazing.
It's
What day did you say
just-
it was?
It is the 26th of the month of Blyreth.
2 months.
Too long.
Are you sure there's no way I could use Ozen and do weird things?
I'm
know, but we did it
sure.
before.
No, I'm
Okay.
sure. This is a different thing.
This is
All right, I will start to try and rig up something to like attach to the floor so we can brute force this.
Okay.
Owunul will help however he can. If that means pulling a big lever, then so be it.
Okay.
So the dial is like, is it like a little? Is it concave or convex where it goes in?
Concave is
Like-
where it goes in.
Is it like? Does the floor like concave and the dial is like in that like hole in a hole, or is the dial like on the ground but like a little bit of a raised bit?
So the orb is in a recessed cavity, which is where you
Well,
found the circlet. But the
I'm
actual
sorry,
calendar,
I'm at the calendar. My bad.
the calendar is just recessed in the floor, but it is flat all the way across. It's not
Okay.
concave.
If we just go to one of the parts that we're not using and we just kind of like chip into it a little bit, that'll give us a nice point to anchor as we just kind of crank it around.
You need
This
help
is a
chipping away at some
horrible
of this
idea.
stuff? I can help. I know how to chip away
Rancor,
at
do you
stuff.
have literally a better idea?
I mean, I thought about using some sort of magic to like try and adjust it or something, but I've been informed by the gods that is a horrible idea, and I can't do it. So
Well, if you had a spell that could perhaps grab objects with your mind, that would probably work. But I don't think any of us can do that, so.
I can command it.
No, you can't.
You're gonna try to commit. You know what? That's
It
If it's-
requires an intelligence for command to work.
that's why command doesn't work
I-
on me probably.
I have mage hand, but I can only move 10 pounds.
5 pounds.
Yeah.
And it runs into a similar issue. You'd also need to have somewhere to grab.
It's true.
So the issue remains: we need something to either grab
Well,
physically.
The way I
or-
see it is, according to the magical rock, we will see success at least a little bit. And I will begin to attempt to brute force this, I suppose.
Okay.
Is Owunul helping you, or is it just you?
I mean, if it is a what's it? Stoneworking? No, that wouldn't help. I can help you try to chip away at whatever it is with my brute strength.
Okay, wait. Are y'all chipping away at the edges, or are y'all like trying to pry it up?
I'm trying to create like a hole in a part of it. That way we have something to grab.
I can make a hole.
Yeah.
Point, please point to me where I should make the hole.
Yeah, there's
Just a
just
good
a crank.
reminder to someone who knows that what the constellations look like. That
Mhm.
again, both the constellations illuminated on the ceiling are not complete.
Okay. Can I move the little dial to where the spider is? At least the spider is complete.
Yes, you can get the spider complete, but it also illuminates half of two other constellations. And
What other
if
ones?
you can tell me what constellations
Damn
you're
you.
aiming for, then I will just give
You
it to you.
bastard.
But if
Okay,
you don't,
You
if you don't know the
bastard.
constellations, then I'll make you make a saving or a check
Okay.
for it.
We are aiming, theoretically, hypothetically, for the 21st. The spider would be the primary. The flame would be visible, but not the primary.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 other constellations. 9. There's 9 other constellations visible at that time.
I'm gonna give you guidance preemptively.
I do the meanings behind these.
I guess,
Can I decipher? Like, each of these represents something. Can I decipher?
Yes.
and a word of advice, the things that are probably the most, like, half-lit are the one that was probably precedingly the most primary, and the one following most primary.
So the preceding primary is.
Oh my god, I hate all of this.
The octopus, and the following one is the flame. So I guess I will aim for the octopus, the spider, and the flame.
Okay. That is the solution to the roof. As you alight those 3 with the spider fully illuminated, a perfect beam of light, all of the glass pieces all illuminate one spot on the floor, and on the calendar floor, I should say, about 6 feet from where Owunul and Altrix are trying to dig a hole in the floor. And Paloma, kind of, as they're not paying attention because they're digging, you kind of approach that and realize that there is a little flap in the floor that you can actually open.
We gotta dig deeper!
What's under that?
You open it, and there is a lever, it's a straight up lever, and it is a decently large flap, a large circular floor.
Okay, I pull the lever.
Okay, just and the entire calendar springs up with pretty slow force, but it raises about 3 feet off the ground. And now, what was previously concealed underneath the stonework is now various elevations of all the disc underneath the calendar that are all rotating in time.
Huh.
And Altrix and Owunul, you feel the jolt of the ground move underneath you.
Oh.
What was that?
I'll kind of like just look over from the edge of the calendar
Paloma,
to the interior.
Yep. You see various pillars with various gears, or not various gears, sorry, various stone discs that are attached that are still rotating again slowly in time, but you could probably push them now that you have an edge to grab onto.
Push something?
But yeah, spin.
So what was the name of the ceremony?
Festival of the Star and Flame.
And
Moon, Star Moon.
Yeah.
Moons, plural.
2 moons.
As the... So, like, on the calendar is one of the moons, is one of the moons currently a waning crescent and the other one a waning gibbous?
Yes. Yes, they are.
So, are y'all gonna push shit around now?
Should
Probably
we be
turn
pushing
these discs in, I would assume.
Okay. If we're moving the moons now, then 2 months from now, the white one needs to be almost a little, like, not quite a sliver, but like the small. And then the blue one needs to be full.
Yes,
Okay,
we'll just
so
start turning things and see what happens.
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
You start rotating dials, and things start to align on the floor. And Paloma, what is the exact configuration you're trying to achieve? You said full on which one?
Felrow needs to be full. Prim needs to be last quarter fading.
which means, yeah, that's the third quarter.
So it's like not exactly half, it's like a little bit less than half.
Okay. With that instruction from Paloma, Owunul and Altrix, you begin to turn these dials, which are quite heavy. Again, they're several, hundred, even thousands of pounds of stone that you're just slowly turning. It does take the better half of an hour to get everything properly lined up. But just as it does, you hear the click into place. As now the disc representing a Neris begins to raise out of the floor and extend upwards into the temple. It reaches above ground level and then stops about 3 or 4 feet above what ground level would be.
Oh, well, how about that? So now what?
What? Sorry, I missed the disc he's holding comes up out of the ground.
The disc
A Neris.
representing a
The
Neris,
disc representing
the
an
star, yes, rises out of the ground, and you all note that the beams of light coming from the roof are now pinpointing on that disc. It's now raised out of the floor.
We need
I
to.
guess
Is the
just-
disc turning already, or is it just still?
It's just standing there like a pedestal.
Okay.
I guess I'll try and
Put the little,
maybe-
put the little thing there, the little circlet.
Ooh, that's a good idea. Try that.
I will kind of with the assistance of my compatriots, clamber on top.
Climbing up a pole.
Real quick, just from there, do I see anything out of the ordinary?
Nope, just the temple and the light that's all converged on one point.
In that case, I will then place this circlet, kind of just where all that light meets.
Okay. As you position it, it does seem that there is a specific notch that it fits into, almost like you're onto something, and it latches into place. And you watch as the disc tilts just a little bit, and that pinpoint of light now beams in a straight line out the front door of the temple, and just out across the graveyard.
Then why build a temple if it's not here? Okay, I'll just...
The temple was just the puzzle. The temple was just the
Yep.
puzzle. It just like this is like
It's just a hint to the door. Okay.
They really
exit.
did not want anybody to find this, did they?
Well, someone did, so they failed.
Well,
Alright,
yeah,
we'll
but,
come
like,
back for this. I'll leave the circlet here so we can figure out what the heck this is going to.
Okay. I assume most people follow, if not everyone follows.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exiting the main door of the temple, again, Sizik is sitting in the graveyard. All of you are now exiting, and he is there.
Come on, Sizik.
Hey, bud, we're following the beam of light into the distance now.
Okay.
Can we see, just looking at where this beam of light is going?
Yeah, it just straight out of the temple doors, and just vanishes into the swamp.
Awesome. Amazing. That's so great,
does-
guys. That's so awesome.
Does not seem to go back into town, though. Seems to go off elsewhere. It's a very strong
Would-
beam, might I note.
Would I have any idea of where it's going?
At this point, you are entirely clueless.
Okay.
Alright, let's go.
Sizik, do you venture with your party?
Yeah.
Okay. All of you push forth across the swamp. There comes a point when you realize you're going to have to wade in the murky water.
Awesome. Does anyone want to ride on Cricket? Actually, scratch that. I'm just gonna put Sizik on cricket.
I get off, and I just walk
Oh,
through
you
the water.
bastard!
How deep does the water go?
It's like 2 feet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that covers Sizik, so I will.
Yeah, I was about to say, Sizik is drowning.
I'll put
I know how to swim.
Yeah, but you're gonna swim through this.
Yes.
Okay.
You're not in the right. You're not in
Sizik.
good condition to swim through this.
Please do not put your eye anywhere near this dirty swamp water.
You're going to get infected.
Don't plan on diving if that's what you're saying.
No, it's just accidents happen. Water splashes places. Like, you can't predict that stuff.
I will be.
You gotta be
fine.
careful.
Okay. All of you trudge through the swamp, various portions following this beam. It is still maintaining its integrity, likely magical in nature, over some hills and rises, some berms of land, and then back into swamp water. But there's a path carved where the light seems to travel unimpeded, almost like the forest has grown that way. It's avoided blocking the path of this beam. Just a small thin line. But after traversing for 30 minutes, out in the distance of the swamp, coming over the horizon, is another structure, barely visible as it pokes forth from the ground. A submerged second temple. Large, not quite perfectly rectangular boulders fit perfect notches. Very much Aztec in nature. And there is a open doorway that should have led straight horizontal, but instead leads down as this temple has sank.
Fair
Like,
enough.
Fully below the water type sank.
No, the mouth of the temple is still protruding from the ground, but the temple itself, which should be standing tall, is now laid at about a 30-degree angle as it is sinking into the swamp slowly with time.
Duly noted.
It's
Duly
overgrown.
noted.
Were the people in charge of building stuff in your village okay?
Clearly not.
Did they drink as
I
much
mean-
as you do?
Because they built this giant temple out here and then built a second temple to point to the first.
You know, that's a good question.
That, or they
Sure,
built the
there's a
other
second
temple
temple.
there first and then decided it should point to the site of their second
No,
temple.
they just had the light just here beforehand without pointing
we-
to anything. Just to
I
fuck
mean-
with people.
We just really like our temples and, like protecting our stuff.
I feel like
You
you could
protecting
just...
your stuff is with light shows.
So the problem is, by having the first one just point to the second, then you may as well just have had that second temple because you have to solve that puzzle to lead here. Why don't just have that puzzle reveal whatever thing is trying to be protected? I just go in.
Yeah. It is
Good.
again about a 30-degree slope. It's not flat to walk into.
Awesome.
Nothing
I
ventured,
assume
nothing
you've never
gained.
been here.
Is it? Have I been here?
Pura, you didn't even know this existed.
I think this
as
was
a
what my
preparation-
grandpappy left out from my bedtime stories.
Just as a precaution, I'm going to cast False Life on myself.
Okay, noted.
Ooh, yay, max. 8 temp HP.
Awesome.
Just kind of looking down this path, it's steep, but like how far/deep does it go?
Goes to where the light no longer touches it, for sure.
I will use magical tinkering.
Okay.
Create a tiny non-magical object with a magic property of my choice. I will choose a 5-foot radius light,
Brother,
and I will
have-
just kind of roll it down the corridor.
I'm gonna cast light on it as it rolls down.
It's slightly brighter. Noted.
I mean, it could be important. I don't know.
Okay.
So I guess we're going in.
I guess so.
I guess I'll just wait to see if it hits like a bottom of sorts.
It does eventually.
Does it seem like
Should
underwater
we-
at all, or is it just?
Nope. Not from hearing it or watching it roll down. Just
Yeah, a approximation of how deep this is.
looks like it heads about 70 to 80 feet down.
Yeah, it's a staircase, correct?
It's
It's a flat slope that should be horizontal.
it's a
but
hallway
it's
that is
tilted.
sunk.
So it is of length 80, basically.
Yeah, length of 80 feet.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for clarifying.
Like this.
I've got 50 feet of rope, I think.
I will take my 50 feet of rope, create a 100-foot rope. That way, if we need to
Okay.
get out of here for whatever reason, we don't struggle climbing uphill.
Sure. For sure. Okay.
Then, with that sorted, I'll just head on in.
Should we maybe heal up a little bit first before we go down here?
Does anyone else still need healing? I did get that sweet
I
long
think we
rest.
all.
Or short rest
use a little-
thingy.
I think we'd all use more healing.
Did you roll your hit dice?
Yes, I did.
Did you add your
I
con
didn't roll.
bonuses to those hit dice?
Yes, I did not roll good.
Skill
Oh.
issue.
Yeah, that is a
Like,
skill issue
please
at that
heal
point.
me.
I've done all I can,
I
guys.
can heal myself. I can heal myself. I'm saying it like in general. Like, do we want to heal up or something before? Or no.
I would like some more healing, but.
Oh, sick.
if
Alright,
no
I'll
one
heal
else
you then.
does.
If you need healing, I'll heal you. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and... go ahead and cast a level 2 Cure Wounds. That's going to be 4d8. Do I not have d8? Where are my d8s? What?
We don't get them.
Where are my d8s? Hold on. Why the fuck? Okay, found them.
I'll land myself for 10.
I'm gonna go ahead. So that's great. That's going to be 20 HP.
Okay. I only use like 8 of that. So does anyone else need 12?
That's not how that works.
No,
I used
okay.
it. I
It
used
can't
the
be split.
spell.
Can't be split. All right.
If it's a spell, unless the spell
That's okay.
states otherwise.
Let's see, I use a 20, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you are back to full health.
Apparently, you could also cure one of your death saves.
Yep, you could just pull that off.
Do I
Not
do I still have the death
immediately.
saves or not? Wait.
Yes, you either heal or get rid of the death save.
So am I still
Severely injured?
wounded? Severely injured?
Yes. Yes.
What?
Oh,
Okay,
well, okay. Hold on. No.
I did not
This
know
requires
this.
Would have important
more
information
dedicated
to
attention.
disclose.
Technically, should have been rolling with disadvantage this whole time. Just remembered, oh
okay.
yeah, my bones.
Okay,
It's okay. Pura has rolled very badly, so it's fine.
So
I
okay,
just
so
assumed you were rolling with disadvantage. It's okay. Sorry.
So what we're
Sorry,
gonna
it's okay.
do is we're just gonna shove. So how many death fails do you have at the moment?
He has 2 failed death
I
saves
have
because
2?
you can't have 3 because you'd be dead.
All right.
Um,
So, you use that healing for HP. I'm just gonna go ahead and lay on hands 40 for you to
Okay.
get rid of both of those.
I mean,
Now
or
you're back up to
you-
full health.
Or
Yeah.
hypothetically, you take the 20 as, removing a death save, then lay on hands for 28.
Also works.
Oh yeah, I'll just do that then, I guess.
There you go. I was like,
Okay.
the math is not mathing, but sure.
So see, it's a good thing I said something.
yes.
Yeah.
so
Pura is now
I'm-
no longer
I will-
limping.
I will
Over-
follow behind
Sorry.
Altrix.
Yeah, this
Okay.
is why
I
communication
will
is important, guys.
It's all right.
I will send
That's all right.
Ozen down. I will send Ozen to kind of
Okay.
float down past us to kind of
Sure.
scout as we propel down.
Sure. I'm assuming it follows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very well. All of you make it to the bottom of this 80-foot-long slope. Large, square room with a tunnel that leads off what should have been a staircase down into something is turned at such an angle where it is basically a straight drop on the back side of this room. But on your adjacent walls, to your left and to your right, there are murals, cracked and broken now, the paint fading and with wear and tear, and however long this temple has been here. To the left mural, it is an elven man who is reaching upwards towards a golden or radiant tree. The tree reaching back almost, a limb trying to match the hand of the elf. And a splinter of wood is elongating from the hand. And then as you turn your gaze to the mural on the right, that elf is grasping a staff, that splinter of wood. And the roots of the tree have come and tangled around the elf, symbolizing some kind of union.
Well, you guys really like trees, huh?
I mean, we are wood elves, so
I suppose.
He's got a point.
I know.
maybe the staff is important.
Are we still rappelling down? We're seeing this, or have we gone to the bottom?
You're in this chamber. It's still again slanted, and then again on the opposite side of where you came in, there is a staircase that would normally lead down at a 45-degree angle, but instead turns to an almost drop because everything in this temple is down like this. The whole room is shifted, so you're standing on a slope.
So, what is the plan?
I start going down.
Okay.
Yep.
There is no
It's a straight-
plan.
Like, you know,
It is
There never was
a
any.
straight drop.
I
Oh,
thought you said it was a slope.
The
You came
staircase
in
is
on
a
a slope?
drop.
The staircase would have gone down at a 45-degree angle, but instead, due to the 30-degree tilt of the building, now drops at 70 degrees, or 75 degrees, almost a straight drop from.
Do you know what I say to that?
Horizontal
I have a
plane.
hard time
Do you know what I say to that?
It's okay.
Yo.
again, normal building, right? And then it's
Yeah, normal building. It's tilted like this.
Yeah.
So this would be the floor and stairs.
So would the wall
it's
itself
now,
have not
like-
turned into a slope?
The walls are slanted. So the mural
Yes,
you're
so
looking
the
at
wall is
are
now slanted
sideways.
at a 45-degree angle. Can I not go down the wall?
The whole.
no. You're thinking of rotating. It is, boom. So the walls are just still
Yeah, the-
walls.
The walls
Whole
are still
building.
like you take a wall that is vertical like this,
Yeah.
rotate it. It's still gonna
Okay, I
be.
jump off the cliff, whatever.
Paloma
uh,
falls and dies.
I will.
I do have feather fall, so
Paloma,
We don't know what's down
Paloma,
there.
are you actually going to jump off a cliff, or
No,
okay, please?
Why do you sound so
I
disappointed?
don't. Someone
would like
throw
to
a glowing rock over the edge so I can see how far it is, so I can
I
see
would
if I can
just
actually
send
drop
Owen-
off.
Do I have? Is there
I
a
will
rock
throw
around me, Mason?
said glowing rock.
Yeah, I was
Is
gonna
there
say
a
the glowing rock that Altrix brought is kind of lodged on a lifted stone.
Okay, Mason, how far?
Yeah,
is
I'll
it?
grab
you-
that, throw it down.
You toss it, it falls about 80 feet or so, and then sploosh into water.
Oh God,
Okay, I
no!
jump.
Okay. Yeah.
That's an
Paloma
entity.
does that. I turn around to go get the other end of the rope.
Yeah. Okay.
I think we
Water,
need it
and
here
I
more
can
than
negate,
back there.
Like 40 feet to fall damage. I'm fine.
You won't take any fall damage. You'll just sploosh.
You'll take emotional
Again, we
damage.
probably need a way back up.
Eh.
Nah.
I've got some rope.
What do you mean, nah?
All right. We'll rig up a rope.
Drop it into the water.
And then just rappel down.
Okay. Each of you, one by one, enter swamp water.
How deep?
Well, the staircase is still going down, so it just continues straight down for a moment.
Amazing.
I will remind all of you that how breath works in D&D is you can hold your breath to a number that is 3 plus your Constitution modifier in
Oh,
minutes.
come on.
All right.
Mira's like, oh no!
Wait. Okay, modifier.
Wait,
modifier.
what?
That
Oh,
makes
God.
sense.
Yeah,
Poor
3
Pura.
plus your Constitution modifier, not
Godspeed,
score.
Pura, Godspeed.
Okay, I was thinking score, and I was like, what?
No, that's so long. No.
Average person could
so
do
the-
13 minutes.
Three,
So
No,
Pura, you
3
can hold your breath for like
minutes.
what, 1 minute then?
3
right.
minutes.
Oh.
Here,
Is it 3 plus
I
or 3
will-
times?
Plus.
The what?
plus.
Plus.
I'm assuming the
3
kind of
plus
like
your con
glowing
score.
Yeah.
rock I threw
Oh.
is still
Yeah,
sinking.
it's still sinking, yes.
Y'all wait up here. I'll dive down.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
You're just gonna
I think
go?
We should have a diving buddy, someone to help in case you get stuck or lost. I don't
I
know.
can be his diving buddy.
I am under.
You're in full plate armor. You do not need to be diving.
I'm his diving buddy.
It helps him dive. Doesn't help him come up. though.
Owunul is holding on to the rope because the moment he lets go and falls to the water, he'll.
Correct.
I will just go in.
No one said he needed a surfacing
Okay.
buddy, so I mean...
Oh no, stay
It's
up
a
here.
one-way trip.
You're not getting back out of that.
Hope that there's something at the bottom. That
It's just nothing.
would be sad.
So is Altrix going by himself, or is Owunul actually going with him, or does someone else establish the plan?
I can't go. I mean, it would be a bad idea if I go with them. So
How long can you hold your breath for, Ultrix?
Again, I feel like I've already dived.
Yeah, he's going.
I'm
jumping in after him.
Okay, Rancor follows. Okay. Altrix, how long can you hold your breath for?
7 minutes.
Ooh.
7 minutes. And Rancor, how long can you hold your breath?
5.
5. Okay. After about 2 minutes of swimming, the chamber flattens out again, or at the 30-degree angle that you saw the rest of the temple. But this one is more built into the ground itself, so it seems to be actually not so sunken. You're below the swamp area most of this, so this slope is more of like a 12-degree. The entire chamber is almost filled with water, except for a little gap of air right in the corner that you can surface under.
No, I still got plenty of time. I'll just take using kind of like the stone I've gathered, just using it to light up the area. Try to get grasp on what this room is.
Sure. There is a statue of that elven man that you saw, and he's on his knees. His hands are pressed over his face, and there are gemstones that represent his tears. They hit down onto the floor and make up of sapphires.
Like real gemstones?
Real gemstones. Some of them are already missing. There are a few spots on the floor. where someone has been here and taken them at one point.
I mean, like, I shall, waste not, want not.
When's your Paloma is showing?
Hey, these are free. It's a literally loot. I don't. If they're not like in any slots. They're just kind of loose.
No, they're embedded in the floor.
Okay. I guess I will also then ask, like, am I noticing anything arcane about where they're slotted into?
Make an Arcana check.
Yeah, dice. Oh, okay. Arcana is 22.
22. There is something faintly magical about them, but it's almost like the water in this room is suppressing that.
About the slots or the gems?
All of the above.
Sick. I don't know if there's any way to de-water the room. Unless we find the drain or something. I will real quickly rendezvous with Rancor at the Pocket of Air.
Okay.
Magic gemstones, magic mural. Being dampened, or I guess drowned, pun intended, by the water.
You're saying the water is nullified magic?
I wouldn't say nullifying, but just sort of snuffing it out. Just covering it up.
Can I make an Arcana check to see, like, does that sound like something water normally does? This stuff,
You don't
or
have
does
to.
it sound
You don't
like...
have to. You don't have to roll for that. No, that's not normal.
So I can infer that either the water is magical in some way, or cursed, or unnatural.
Or that something else is wrong.
Well, you mean besides the temple being at like a 45-degree angle?
Yeah, that might be outside of the designer's original intentions.
Oh, really?
Really? Crazy.
How well can Ozin float through water?
Kind of just moves a little slower, but he can still move. Just about half speed.
And he's got a range about 100 feet away from me. Can I just have him kind of just peruse around, see if he sees or finds or detects something unusual that probably shouldn't be there?
Define unusual. This is a temple.
Like, is there like a cursed rock that's, giving off bad juju vibes or something? Is there... I know there's not going to be a
juju, really?
Plug. Yes. He always has a sixth sense for stuff that's not usually good for one's health, so like that.
Sure. I'm just gonna roll for Ozin on this. Ozin comes back and there's no magical juju, bad juju in this place.
You didn't see find anything else? No.
Well, I was looking for magical juju, bad rock, is what you said.
You can look for other stuff as well.
All right, I'll go.
Did you at least find another? Wait, before you go, did you at least find another path or something?
Not yet. I was only able to explore so much. There's not a lot of light down here.
I was talking to my sword. Sorry.
I'm not
crazy.
there's a stone pathway that seems to be blocked on the other side of the entry of this chamber, but there's a stone in the way.
It's like it's plugged up by the stone. It's not like barricaded.
That's what my guess would be. I'm just a sword man.
So,
don't think it's
You're
plugged
more
up
than
by the
that.
stone.
Well, thank you.
Ozen said he found some sort of rock blocking a pathway. How big was the rock?
Like door sized? Like,
You
I
said
don't
like door
know,
size.
8 feet by 8 feet? I don't know.
That's a huge
Really
door,
big.
Ozen.
So is the walkway we just came down.
Okay, he said there's like an 8x8 boulder. So,
Sick. I'll just go take a look for myself. No, go back in.
Okay. Cool. You swim down there, and again, sure enough, there is a large stone that seems to be blocking whatever path continues forth.
I will, just seeing that, investigate, try and scout out the rest of the room, see if there's anything else of note in here.
Sure. Make an investigation check. I do believe you have to do so at disadvantage. The water hurts. It's hard to investigate when you're like...
I mean, hypothetically,
Oh my god.
could I use moment to think as a bonus action to double the amount of investigating I'm doing to cancel out the disadvantage?
Sure. That logic works with me, I guess.
We only win here. Using the nat 20 and
whatever.
nat 1 die, see what we get. Hey, 25.
25.
Actually, no. Investigation, 22.
22. Okay. The stone can be moved, but it seems like there's a contraption that's holding it in place. This is not accidentally here. Something is keeping it closed.
Figures. And there's nothing else evident in the rest of the room.
She's kind of round. There is...
No giant levers on the wall. Little thing on
giant-
this floor to lift up and go, oh, there's the lever that solves it.
No. No, there's not. Nope, just the statue of the elf in the middle of the room and the mural that it depicts.
Okay. I will go over to that mural and
Okay.
try and grab one of those gemstones.
Okay, I'm going to try to pull it out of the floor.
Yeah, at least one.
Yeah, make a athletics check, please.
All right. Only do good at these. Oh! With a -1, that's an 18.
18. You pull one of the sapphires out of the floor.
I will take it over to the air pocket.
Okay.
And upon surfacing, I will go to cast Identify.
Okay. It is
Can I
a
cast-
sapphire.
isn't that 30 minutes to cast?
Not if I cast it as a spell.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was about to go sit there and wait for 30 minutes.
Runs out of oxygen in this chamber.
If
No, it
it's
is a,
ritual, 30 minutes.
it is a gemstone.
just a
sapphire.
regular old gemstone.
That's
So, okay. So the magic is coming from the mural itself. Arguably. Roughly how many spots had missing gemstones?
like 4. Now 5 because you've taken one.
And there was not any loose ones on the floor?
No.
Gotcha.
Is that
Cutting
is that one
cutting
of
away
the-
from this for just a moment. Paloma, Sizik, Pura, and Owunul. All of you make history or investigation checks. You can choose.
It's not gonna matter.
You succeed and learn that anyone who stays in water for more than 2 minutes immediately dies.
Cringe real. I'm gonna use my last luck point on this because
Sure.
I would like it to do something. Please.
You said investigation.
History.
Investigation or history. One of those two is fine.
That's a
We'll do-
14.
14 for Owunul, Paloma.
6.
6, Sizik.
10.
10, and Pura.
16.
16. Okay. Pura, you made a comment earlier when you were in that first room about maybe that staff was important. And then that's the only recollection you recall.
So I just
You
remember
being-
remembering that the staff was important.
Yep.
Acquire
I
That's
remember
stick.
10 seconds ago.
Oh my god.
It's been several
Yo.
minutes. But
Anyone got a stick in their inventory? And a usually long stick?
Oh, this could be a stick.
There's nothing else I remember about this stick.
nope. You said it might be important.
This stick might be important, bro. Okay.
I would figure, but
Did anyone see a stick in here? Except for the
is
one
there
that was
like
on the mural.
a glowing,
I looked for a stick.
like below us as we're like treading water.
No. Perhaps you would, but maybe want to. I don't know. Maybe climb back out of this hole and go investigate. Maybe that thing.
I
Oh,
will do that because
okay.
I'm currently the one holding onto the rope, so I'm gonna go ahead and climb
Yeah,
out.
Altrix decides he's just gonna have to punch his way through the boulder.
Yeah.
Pura, having no confidence in his breath holding ability, would also follow.
Okay. So Owen.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sink to the bottom like a rock, so like I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
the
help
two of
anyone.
the two of you return to the slanted chamber once
The
again.
least
with two
aquatic
murals.
members of our party.
Pura, you walk up to that staff and take a long look at it.
You said something about a staff being important, or someone did.
Yeah. I mean, if you look here, it seems like the elf is, taking this staff, and we're looking for something that is important.
So we take the
bada bing,
staff.
bada boom.
We take the
It's on,
staff.
it's on the wall. You can't just take it off the wall. But you can make an investigation check.
It's a
if you
painting,
want to.
right?
Mason,
Yeah,
like,
it's, yeah.
the wall.
Chisel it out.
Yeah, no.
Is it an actual
I-
staff
I'm-
on the wall, or is it
I
a
am-
mural?
It's a mural.
I am going to try.
Taking
I
the
will
wall
also-
out?
No,
Or take-
no, investigating,
Okay.
investigating. I want to be clear. I want to be clear. I'm
Okay.
trying to investigate the wall. While
You and Pura
funny,
can make-
I would not like to not do that.
Yeah, you and Pura can make an investigation check.
Okay. Only good rolls. Okay, that's better than my usual. 13. Pura, no! Pura, no!
That one for F5.
Pura, do
Wow,
not
look!
destroy the mural. Pura, do not destroy the mural.
You take a long look at it and think maybe if you look harder, you can try again.
I...
Can I try?
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
kidding. It's okay. The DC has suddenly become 12. I'm gonna write that. Owunul, you realize that the mural, there is a very tiny little portion of the mural that's actually the edge of a wheel that you could rotate as part of the staff. It's embedded in the wall. So all you have to do is just click it. It just slides, like your finger barely runs over it.
Okay, I'm gonna slide the wheel, I guess.
Rotates the
Pull
entire
it.
building.
Yeah, yeah. Everything
If
moves
it goes the
around.
wrong
Yeah.
way,
It rotates another 30 degrees that way.
You pull it down a little bit. Rancor and Altrix, what are you doing right now?
Oh no.
I'm swimming.
Yep.
Oh, I have
So-
a Mason.
You would-
No.
You would say perhaps that you are free floating.
Oh no.
What do you mean free floating?
Oh no.
I would like both of you to make a dexterity saving throw at disadvantage.
I'm very sorry. I apologize in advance. Out of
Yeah,
character, I
what do you mean?
apologize for what I'm doing.
I have no idea what is occurring, therefore it cannot be bad. Disadvantage?
All right. Yeah, disadvantage.
Oh, well,
For the pur-
one of those was good.
For the purposes of this, may I use a luck point to cancel out the disadvantage?
No, because you do not know this is coming, so it is too late.
That's
Well, no,
not
you
It
use
hits
your
me.
reaction, can't you? No, you use your
No.
reaction.
Not for this.
Not.
Mason just wants me to die. It's okay.
I don't think luck points are a reaction.
They are not reaction. You have to
Oh.
use them before you make a roll. Rancor?
Well, luck
Um,
doesn't require you to be attentive.
Rancor.
No, I'm being serious though. Come
No.
on.
I don't want to talk about it.
I
Give me
think
another number.
And that one.
It's not that one,
Well,
but
would you like to tell me the number, please?
5.
that.
Oh,
Five
I also
and
got 5.
Okay.
Oh,
The
breaking
stone.
news! Owunul kills half of the party.
Yes. The stone that was blocking the doorway rolls out away as it is pulled, and suddenly a massive vacuum of space, unfilled by water, as the water rushes out of the chamber, and Altrix and Rancor are just sucked down the tunnel. Sizik and Paloma, dangling now at the end of a rope, watch the water level very rapidly recede beneath you.
Oh my god.
So,
Well, Mason, if we are
Mhm.
free floating and now therefore falling,
Yep.
I will cast Featherfall.
Okay. I will take that into account. Noted. Okay. We'll come back to the two of you.
No, that's a good question. How does Featherfall
okay.
work in water?
It doesn't. That's okay. We will come back to the two of you in a moment, and the party as a whole after our break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back very shortly with whatever unfortunate events may have fallen us.
Oops, I
Funny
did
thing.
it again.
Great. Altrix, Rancor, you take 21 points of bludgeoning damage as you slam into the side of something made of stone.
Can I convince you this is
Mason,
No.
Mason, can I take a guess? Is it a rock?
It might be a rock.
You said 21.
Yeah, 21. 21 points
Yeah,
of
man.
bludgeoning damage. Yep. Sizik and Paloma, again, the water has dropped below you, giving way to just a further pit, and then it kind of flattens out again into another room.
How much further down?
Probably another 20, 30 feet.
I can do that. I grab Sizik, wrap him in my arms, and I let go of the rope.
Okay.
I keep holding the rope.
Fine, you can stay. Whatever, I can do it.
Paloma's dangling by Sizik's feet.
I'm gonna climb back
I
up.
let go of the rope.
Okay. Paloma, you fall 20 feet.
Okay, I take no fall damage.
I know you don't.
Do,
Monk stuff.
Because
do all
90% of a monk's kit is just...
everything.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yes, Owunul and Pura, you do hear the sound of rushing water. And you look back over the edge, and Sizik is just dangling at the end of a rope, and Paloma is gone.
I climb back up.
Okay, Sizik's back up again.
What happened, Sizik?
And the water started draining.
Oh, did you see where Paloma went?
She jumped down. Probably to go find Rancor and Altrix.
Oh. Should we follow?
Just gonna find a smear.
If you wish. It's not my choice. What you do.
Hey, do you want to come with us?
No.
Riley,
Riley, were you talking to them?
Riley, you're muted.
You're...
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna commit manslaughter. I swear to God.
I saw him have a long conversation.
I was like, I saw your
No one
brother.
heard it.
Riley, please.
I hate everything. Okay.
It's okay. It happens.
I don't even remember what I said.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all right.
Is the rope long enough to reach the bottom?
It's about 20 feet shy of hitting the floor.
Okay. So let's fix that. I'm gonna use 30 of the... I'm gonna just... Fuck it. I'm just gonna use all 50 of the feet of rope that are on me and just make it
Sure.
150 feet. We'll untie
There
it
you go.
later. It'll be fine.
Sure. Easy enough.
That way we can get it to reach all the way to the bottom. And, okay, so... Sorry, I got a little...
It's okay.
Distracted. So,
Okay.
what is everyone here doing? I know it's me, I know it's Sizik, I know it's Pura. What are... Sizik and Pura, what are you guys going to do? Are you going to go down with me, or...
I guess I'll follow.
Sizik, you probably shouldn't stay by yourself up here. You gonna come with us?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't feel like it.
Hmm.
Okay.
I guess I'll stay up here with Sizik. You go check on the others.
Okay. Well, let me know if you need anything.
Yeah, we have chatter crystals, so I should be able to.
You can go with him. I will be fine.
You lost an eye.
You don't think I don't know that?
My point is, even when you're with us, bad things can happen. I would like to prevent those things happening if I can.
Doesn't
But I
seem
cannot-
like preventative measures are going to work now, are they? At this point, it just simply feels as if I'm going to keep losing more the longer I stay around you people. I'm just waiting for what comes next, An arm? An ear? Perhaps something on the inside, yes?
your kidney or your life. I don't know.
Pura, I tried to help you, and yet I still watched you die.
I don't.
And then Evadin's gone. I mean, obviously, Owunul, you. I mean, I can hardly even understand how you are acting as if you are fine.
Well, I'm not.
Yes, but you.
But if I go around and I can't just sit around and let the people around me drop like flies.
At least you're able to do anything. Even when I try, it didn't matter.
At least you tried. That's more than a lot of people can say.
When it comes to the life of somebody you care about, simply trying isn't enough. If you can't actually help, what's the difference between trying and not? Where do you even find the motivation to keep going? Other than not wanting others to be hurt.
I'm trying to protect what I do have left. I've been away from my home for who knows how long. I've lost a sister. I don't even know how I'm gonna explain this to my parents. I don't even know if I'm going to explain this to my parents. I'm doing what I can right now, and if that's all I can do, then that's what I'm going to do. It might not work every time, that's not the point. The point is, I'm fighting tooth and nail to keep what I have. I do what I can, and if that's not enough, then damn it all to hell. Because in life, there's really only one thing you can do when tragedy like this strikes, and that's keep going forward. Yes, mourn those who you have lost. Yes, I buried my own sister. But if I let that drag me down and keep me down, then more people are going to get hurt. I have to be ready, I have to be strong, I have to be prepared. And if I'm not those things, who knows who might be fucking next? I can't let that happen. I won't let that happen.
You know where your preparedness got her? A sister, an arm, or a leg and an eye. Sometimes preparedness isn't enough.
Yeah,
No.
Sometimes you gotta be lucky. And I know that, and I understand that.
This isn't about luck. At this point, I've become two things. A punching bag for the world, and Altrix's science experiment. He wants to do more. He says he's trying to help, and I understand, but I don't want more fake pieces of body. I'm tired of being taken apart and put back together already. If this was the path I was supposed to take, as I was told, why? Why couldn't I have at least been forewarned that I would be losing myself? And I knew the risk of potentially getting hurt, but not like this. And especially not watching as I try and fail to keep a friend alive, only for them to somehow come back and a different friend to die instead.
Life is full of unexpected happenings. It's chock fucking full of it. And as you saw, yes, preparedness can't prepare us for all of that. It can't save us from all of that. But again, I do what I can, and I think you should too.
And what can I do? I tried and it didn't do anything.
Then try again.
And do what? Let somebody else die again?
You didn't let them die. Let me be clear. You did not let them die. You fought tooth and nail.
All
Sure,
I did was,
it may
all
not
I
have
did was
worked-
prolong his death. I made it longer. I made it hurt worse, is all it felt like.
That's not true. You, at least before I died, were the greatest thing that happened to me in those moments. At least there was someone there for me when I died. I mean, that's a lot more than I think a lot of people can say. And I wish I was there for my family whenever they died, but I wasn't. Just found burned corpses. That's what I got to bury. At least we know that Evan's death wasn't painful, and we can move on.
But yours was. I don't know what killed Evadin, but clearly whatever happened, she did to bring you back. You were... I can't even describe it, but you were... just... It looked like you were in pain, suffering, hurting. Not on the outside, but the inside as well.
I was. Still am, but I need to move on. I think that's why Eva didn't give her life for me. And I'm not gonna waste it.
I never said that you were going to.
Well, then will you help me not waste it? And let's keep moving forward.
You can forge your path, I already said. I'd rather just wait for everybody else to finish.
But we need you.
To do what? Lose something else? Because it feels now that that's quite literally what I've been best at so far. I told Altrix before, but... everybody has filled some sort of niche. A role. They have something that makes them valuable. And I told him that I felt as if I don't have that. My role was being... dead weight. Everybody else can do something that I am capable of, yet better. And he had said some things to me, and I finally felt, maybe I was wrong. But maybe he was the one who was wrong. Just yet another example of failing to do anything.
I don't think that's true. And maybe you just need to keep looking for, for where you fit into. And that's all we really can do.
A lot of people take a lot longer than you have trying and failing. And eventually, many do find some kind of gold at the end of the rainbow. But if you let the gold at the end of the rainbow, that perfection, that helping everyone just the way you want, get to you, and that's all you're chasing after, you're never going to be happy. You can't chase after perfection. You can't chase after the idea of being this perfect little niche guy in our party who's good at that. He's one thing and is valuable because of that. It's more. There's so much more to it than that.
I know that there's more than that. I just don't know how to explain my thoughts without.
Okay. So, I want to make sure I understand you because this feels important. Okay, Sizik? You feel as though you have no specialized role?
It's more that I don't feel like I do anything of value around. And the only things I am good at is either failing or getting us into some sort of trouble. And, I want to keep going because, well, I was told that this is the path that I'm supposed to follow. But it's hard because I need a good reason. A reason beyond, don't you want to help people? Don't you want to be around your friends? Yeah, I do. But it's kind of hard. Now.
So then I suppose I have a question for you. What is it that you want, if anything? Does anything come to mind? Is there any particular star you're going after here? Or are you just following the dreams that everyone else is telling you about?
I'm following the path that was felt right. Because it was a call, so to say, a call of fate. But like I said, why? If this was my fate, if this was all supposed to happen, she couldn't have said anything, told me. I couldn't have gotten some forewarning. It's hard to want to continue when so much happens all at once, or even little by little. And knowing how, if you look at the paths of what has already happened and what is possible to come, something that I feel Altrix would have a better word for, like a trend, so to say. What's, like I said before, what's gonna come next? What part of me is going to get torn off or blown to bits?
The constant danger certainly has its, well, dangers.
You know what?
No, it's a dangerous path we walk.
He'll pull out the kunai, throw it on the ground, cut off a limb, lose an eye, and tell me, and I will tell you the same thing and see how you feel. Danger is danger, huh?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm tripping on words, okay? It's not my forte. I'm trying to express what's going on inside my head when I don't have nearly enough words for that. Because I know what drives me, and I'm trying to help you find your drive if I can. And if I can't, then I just don't know what I'm going to do.
That was part of the reason I followed this journey. I wanted to find myself. But even now, I'm starting to lose that motivation further. What is there to find if I'm losing myself more than I'm finding out?
I suppose I can't answer that for you.
What about Paloma? I mean, do you want to go? I mean, do you want to keep going on this journey for her, or for trying to keep her safe, and her trying to keep you safe?
She would have more time to focus on herself if I wasn't around. Please.
Do you really think that's what Paloma would want?
The only reason she was even here was because she was looking after me. Okay, I act stupid, but I'm not, alright? At a certain point, you start to realize, at least I did, there were times when she felt I was an obligation. She was here because she felt she had to be, not because she wanted to. If I went back home, she could have the chance to focus on everything that she wants to do.
And yet, she chose to focus on you. Shouldn't that choice mean something?
I just said she's here because she felt like she had to be.
I don't think that's the case, and I frankly think you should ask her that. Yeah, I'm sure everyone else in the party does not think that's the case.
Let's just go check on them.
Yep. Alright. We're all going to clamber down the rope, I suppose.
Okay. You find Paloma in a slightly tilted room. A statue, a male elf, same one likely depicted in the murals above, kneeling, hands clasped onto his face, and sapphire gemstones, tears run down and hit the floor. And it is dark in here.
It's
Light.
Okay.
Is there any depiction of a staff at all anywhere in the room?
Not in this room. But light, as it illuminates the chamber, now without the water, though still damp on the stone. Those sapphires refract the light in a certain way. And though some of them are missing, and therefore a letter or portion of a letter is missing from the message in Sylvan, which Sizik reads, is, when the world was young, and the tapestry yet tender, a gift was grown and given for life and remembrance. And then there is an arrow that points past the statue and down the hall.
Wow, an arrow in a hallway where there are only two directions. That's insane. I guess we should go the other way, guys. No, we're gonna we're going to follow the direction of the arrow, I would presume.
Okay.
Yeah.
4 of you down a, again, slightly sloped hallway.
Three of us.
4. Paloma's with you.
Oh, never mind then. Yeah, you're right.
The 4 of you move down this sloped hallway and enter another chamber, where Altrix and Rancor are pulling themselves off of a stone golem that sits in solemn quietness. Rest. There are chip marks where a scuffle from ages long past, or many scuffles, perhaps, in ages long past. It has been in numerous battles, but it lies dormant in this chamber.
Sizik, Is that golem still operational?
I don't know.
Do you think you could find out?
Why don't you kick it and answer that question yourself?
Yeah, let me just provoke hostilities from the golem that I don't know if it's working or not. I'm gonna walk up to the golem. How tall is the golem?
The room is probably 20 feet tall. The golem is probably 15.
Awesome. Is he standing?
Yes.
Ah, great. I'm just gonna try to observe if there's any notable details about the golem. Like maybe there's I don't know, another sapphire or something on its back or something like that. I'm just like trying to look for anything that sticks
Sure.
out.
Sure.
What would I be rolling for that?
You don't have to roll for that. You
Oh.
glance over it quickly. It's just a stone golem. Does not have any gemstones on it, no writing, no inscriptions, no symbols, nothing. It's
And in
just-
walking around it, nothing happens?
Nope.
Alright, then let's just walk around it. There's no reason to mess with it.
Oh no.
Tries to walk out of the room. Golem wakes up.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Just kind of getting up, seeing this golem.
Oh wait, are
I'll
they
kind
there
of-
too?
Yes, all of you have reconvened. They were.
Oh, okay.
They had planted into the golem. They had to pull themselves off of it.
I will,
Oh.
I guess, look around, search for, what else is in this.
There is a walkway that continues past into the temple. This one now perfectly horizontal, reaching a level where the temple has not shifted anymore. But other than that, it's just the golem and an empty stone room.
I think I chipped one of my horns.
Oh no.
All right, it's fine. Oh, y'all are here. Great.
Yeah, I noticed that the water went down.
Yeah, I took a gemstone out the wall and the water went away, so I think that did it.
I mean, I turned.
It took a while though, but
I turned.
know.
I turned a little.
told
What was
you
it?
you
A
shouldn't have
staff
touched it.
thingy. I
Yeah,
turned I turned a thing in like
the important stuff.
Yeah, we turned a part of the staff in a thing upstairs or upstairs.
Oh, cool. So it was your
Yeah,
fault.
upstairs.
Great. Yeah.
It turns out it was for more than just show. Who would have guessed?
All right. Let's
Are there any other doors
carry
out
on.
there?
Excuse me?
Are there any other doors?
Yes, there's a hallway that continues past the golem. Further
I
into
guess
the
the-
temple.
Is the
we
golem
wanna-
facing the?
It is facing the entrance that you came in, so it is
Okay.
facing away from the door it stands in front of.
Like it's protecting it?
Yeah. like
I'm
it's-
going to try to walk towards the hallway slowly, staring at the golem.
I walk straight down the hall.
It doesn't
Yep.
turn around, it just stands there dormantly.
Follow.
Let's
Okay.
get this over with. I want to be out of here.
Yeah, I don't. Why are we here again? I'm sorry. I've just.
Light.
forgot. That explains everything. Oh wait, no, it doesn't.
Light pointed here. We're looking for whatever light pointed to, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable to me. All right.
You walk past the stone golem, each of you, glancing over your shoulders just to check it hasn't moved.
You're not gonna come alive, right?
Right. And as you enter, a staircase does descend, and there is light up ahead.
That's
Oh, well, I don't like that.
This little light of
Just your
mine.
little rock glowy thing.
No, you guys know how it always works. At the end of the thing, when there's light, that means that's where the necromancer is, or that's where the freaking, giant
Have we even
zombie
faced
is,
a
or
necromancer?
whatever. No,
Or a
Read it in
giant
books.
zombie.
it's in
In fact,
books.
does anybody know what a giant zombie is?
It's a
I assume just a zombie, but big.
yeah that. Anyway, the big bad thing is always at the thing at the very end after all the traps
mean
and all
that
the
evil guy?
puzzles, and they're just down here for no reason.
Mason,
All right,
go
fine. If y'all
downstairs.
are
Okay.
such cowards, I'll go first.
Okay, well, Paloma's already going. That's okay.
I'll go right after Paloma then. It'll be fine.
Sure. Yes, you descend into
With the combined
A
saves,
chamber.
we should be okay.
everything will be fine, right? But we push forth Sunken Temple, finding a place where even the swamp is held at bay. A beautiful grove stands before us. Though underground, there is a roof overhead of natural soil. The room is lit as if moonlight were shining upon it, but the air here is stale. Like it hasn't been disturbed in a decade or maybe two. There are 3 or 4 steps that rise up on a grassy terrace, and then another 3 or 4 steps that rise up beyond that. And even above that is a pedestal where a large, long stone case sits. And there are gargoyles sit on various stone pillars and stone archways in this room. But they depict wolves. And they all watch. They seem to be watching your pathway, but they don't turn, just there.
Huh. I don't like that.
All right. Let's carry on.
Why did you whisper that?
I'll just
Don't worry
march
about
on
it.
up these terraces.
I have the
Find-
weird urge to smash the gargoyles.
Don't
Wow.
smash the gargoyle.
I would like to smash the gargoyle.
Are you
This is
sure?
Pura's home. Please don't.
Let's not invite more problems.
Fine. We'll do what we did with the golem. They don't mess with us. We won't mess with them.
Sure. Altrix is kind of leading the group, but all of you stepping up the stairs to this pedestal where this case sits. And the top is slightly ajar, as it has been opened at least once. But you will have to move it.
This feels like a tomb that has already been raided.
I mean, there was a few gemstones taken from the wall earlier. I was kind of hoping
I'm
that maybe they
going-
were taken before this place sunk.
I'm going to attempt to move the lid a bit farther off.
Sure. You push it. It's quite heavy, but you push it nonetheless, and it slides enough, and then angles down, lodging itself. And inside there are 2 prongs, lie bare, once holding something, but now empty. The cradle
Oh,
of something likely about 5 feet long, but a case that's missing its content.
oh.
And then directly over where the stone lid was, there is a plate written in Sylvan, which Paloma and Sizik are promptly called up to read.
It's the magic stick.
Yes. It reads, "Until green yields to crimson red, a staff awaits upon this bed."
Christmas. Until green yields to crimson red. So, is it saying that the staff was supposed to be here until that point? Green yields to crimson red.
I have a feeling that someone stole it, but
Such
You guys,
green yields to crimson red.
I mean,
Is there what's around the room? Like, is there anything on the walls or the floors or anything like that?
It's a grove. There is nature. There are trees growing in here. There's grass. There's vines hanging from the ceiling, and then this weird, just ethereal moonlight. But there's no source. It's just present in the room.
I'm going to I'm going to act as if there were a staff there and try to like grab it and see if it does
Sure.
anything.
Does nothing.
I grab nothing. I look like an idiot. Yay!
I just
mean,
kind of walk into the
in-
middle of the grove. or what is
Sure.
generally the middle. And I want to bleed a little bit into the grass.
Okay.
You're just gonna bleed.
Yeah, you're just gonna bleed on command.
No, I'm just
Yeah.
kind of cut a little bit.
Sure.
It doesn't have to be super deep.
Just lifts the patch.
As one drop of blood hits the grass, flitters out, and it turns red, matching the color of your blood.
Oh, that did something.
And the statues of wolves, their
God
eyes
damn it.
go green. 6 stone wolves awakening. A howl echoing sourcelessly pierces silence in the chamber. And the wolves leap down from their pedestal. Sizik, they approach you.
Are they friendly wolves?
They don't look friendly.
I'm
Ready
Going-
to action on thermobaric blast.
ready to action on smite the fuck out of every single
It's a
one
bad
of
time to
them.
mention this. It's a rabbit.
Would
Sizik, what do you do?
Just stare them down.
They get closer to you. And closer.
I don't move.
Okay. And a little closer until all 6 of them are right there around you. You are completely encircled. The room heavy with tension.
I sort of show where I cut where the blood came from.
One of the wolves' eyes turns a deeper shade of green, glows a little bit brighter as it leans in, almost to sniff. Sizik, what are your surface levels?
I want to go home.
Are you afraid?
Of the wolves or just in general?
Both.
More anxious than afraid. Upset. Irritated. Tired.
And the wolves stand there for a moment. One leans in a little closer, and a very coarse stone tongue licks over the wound, and it heals. And the grass turns green again.
Huh. Is the staff in the spot now, or?
No, it is not. Not here.
Well, I think I know what to do. I mean, like, they basically just said, okay, look. The grass was green, then it turned red, then the wolves sniffed Sizik. The wolves then turned the grass green again. I think that means we try again.
Might be worth a shot.
Alright.
Sizik, you are hearing the voices of your companions talking behind you. Again, still tense, not quite sure what to do. Before breaking the silence, what troubles you, young one?
Does everybody hear it or just me?
A voice calls out in Sylvan. So only Paloma and you understand it.
Who's that weird lady talking? What's that?
I'm not going to repeat all of it, but I'm going to give more of a general retelling of what I was talking about with Pura and Owunul in Sylvan.
Okay. Are you afraid? of the journey you're on?
I guess. I'm not sure how to feel anymore.
What brings you to my temple?
I don't know. Following them. Seeing, I guess, if something important is here.
It was. But it is not here anymore.
What is it now?
Wouldn't I love to know?
Who are you exactly?
The wolf extends its paw up, a heavy stone paw, to almost shake your hand.
Okay, well, meet it.
I am called many names,
That's a
but
strange
you most
name.
likely know me as Corellon.
Do I recognize that?
You can make a religion check, but Owunul, you know what that is. Which unfortunately,
I do, but
you don't hear it in the language you speak.
because it's in Sylvan, baby.
Yep.
Is the name Corellon not translated?
That's fair. It probably does supersede all translations. That's a good point.
12.
Okay.
Huh? That
Yeah, names don't translate very well. 12. You don't recognize the name, Sizik, but there is a vague reverence almost that you find yourself in. But no recognition. But Owen does recognize it. Although he's gone. Gets struck down.
Gwendolyn fucking dies.
Yeah, he's dead.
Thin off the Dazavs.
Doesn't exactly feel super familiar, but it's nice to meet you.
I have not had the acquaintance of meeting you yet. Or your companions.
wet.
But I have been watching you.
Well, that doesn't sound creepy.
In the most respectable way. Are you here because Stelia sent you? Or are you here on your own volition?
A little bit of both.
I see. Well, you pose no threat.
I'm aware.
I would ask what happened to your eye. But I already know. He wasn't always like that.
Most, I can understand.
I fear you do not.
Sometimes. Well, understand that, was, the creature, whatever that plant was, might not always have been a monster. It looked as if it was just a large rose bush.
He was a pet once.
Yours?
Yes. Shantae gave him to me.
Who?
An old friend. But when they arrived, they corrupted him.
They?
They showed up and murdered my people. They left bone and ash behind where there was beauty.
Who are they?
They did nothing wrong. My people suffered, and they were innocent.
Who are they?
I do not know their names.
Do you remember what they looked like? How long ago?
Most were elvish in nature. My own creation turned against me.
Sorry to hear that.
It is not your fault. I am sorry for what they did to my friend and what he has done to you.
Wasn't your fault. It was, whoever, did this to your little, pet.
I'm afraid what you're looking for here, you may not find. Or maybe you found exactly what you're looking for. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. They know. Well, actually, I don't really think any of us know what we're looking for. This place was just circled on a map. So we thought that something important was here. Well, whatever the case is, maybe you were what we were supposed to find.
I have not been here in some time. It's nice to see. Some things are the way that I left them.
Well, it's better than nothing being the same, I suppose.
What are you looking for?
Personally, or as a group?
You. What are you looking for?
A purpose? Motivation? A reason to keep going, something to work towards?
And the wolf, with its head, gestures towards your friends. What about them? Is that not a purpose?
In what way?
I do not know the full nature of Stelia's task force, but I know that you are chosen. I can see that. You bear her magic. You are here for fate. Fate is such a funny thing. Because it's never really set. It's always dancing around. That's why I love to dance. It's always changing. Made and remade. molded, twisted, bent, broken, severed, reconnected, reconstructed, redesigned. So, let me assure you that mere existence in this place changes fate. If that is not purpose enough, now you have a quest, you have a family, people that you can count on. I miss the people that I can count on. They are few and far between. You need motivation. Look around you. You need purpose. I cannot tell you what your purpose is. Life is full of thousands, not millions of purposes. If you're looking for validation, I think you already have it. You're looking for companionship. It's right next to you. You need a mission. I think you already have one. I'm sure what I say doesn't mean much to you, and that is okay. But seeing as you pulled me here, is there anything I can do to help you?
I don't know. We are here looking for something, but you don't know what that is, so I guess not. We were trying to find something connecting either this Blue Moon group or more clues on this group led by that Bright Shadow lady, but if there's nothing other than destruction and old abandoned places and mutated pets, and somebody whose name sounds vaguely familiar and being semi-cryptic and telling me things I already know, then I suppose not particularly. And I guess you could ask if they need anything, but
they did not call me here. You called me here.
I understood what the writing had said, so I acted on instinct. It wasn't because I particularly was searching to call for you.
I see.
Does it mean that you are unable to speak with any of them? Unless they too bleed on your grass?
It is the reverence.
I don't know what that word means.
Respect. I too have lost a great friend. More than one in my lifetime. And every time you lose a part of yourself. But if you give up, you lose all yourself.
What exactly are you?
Ah. So you are not familiar.
As I said, the name was vaguely familiar, but no connection. I'm not certain.
I have a title. But I don't want titles. They're so overbearing. They lock you in to something that you might not want
I feel as if that is some implication of you being some sort of god or deity. Is that close?
It is more accurate. Unfortunately.
Things like that are much easier to say when you are not a simple mortal.
No. Mortals are the pinnacle. They are the most beautiful.
We're meant to be the pinnacle, then why is there any evil to begin with?
Evil is not the pinnacle. It is passion. It is creativity. It is finite. That is what is beautiful. If you find yourself locked in immortality, it gets very, very lonely.
Are you unable to leave this place?
I can leave, but I can never escape.
Always with the crypticism.
Gods have to be known for something.
Why does it have to be vague unhelpfulness?
Because the most beautiful thing that I get to see is when people like you make decisions on their own. If I tell you what to do, when to do it, what to say, when to say it, how to act, when to act it, it's not your choice. There's no beauty in locking you, in chaining you to your existence. It is freeing to watch you make choices, to watch you attempt, to fail, to succeed, to reattempt, to grow. It's precious. It is perhaps the only reason that I'm still here. It is the only thing that I hope for. Be free. And if that means doing the right thing, that's beautiful. If it means finding a passion, that's beautiful. If it means dancing in the rain, that is beautiful. I cannot tell you what your is, my friend. I can only show you where to look. Do not take life for granted. It is the most precious thing you have.
Alright. I mean, I don't think any of us really were, but... Solid advice?
Would you like me to fix your eye?
No.
He takes a necklace off neck and hands it to you. Then take this instead.
Thank you.
It is simple. It's not powerful. It's not enlightening. But perhaps this simplicity is the enlightenment. Now that's for you to decide.
And I guess you can't go wrong with a necklace from a talking stone wolf.
No. I'm not the wolf. Sorry. I just can't exist here anymore. It hurts too much. In many ways. This is a vessel.
Well, I mean, I knew that you weren't exactly the wolf, but that is the form that you are showing yourself as. How would you fix this?
Fix what?
Your predicament of being in here, alone and sad.
Well, I could die. But I don't really want to die.
I was more so thinking external solutions. Something that someone else could do to help.
I don't expect you to understand. I am not trapped in this room or in this body. I am trapped in this plane. I am trapped to the thing that I love the most.
Free will?
Free will for all of you. Watching beauty that unfolds, use it. And though it might be lonely, I don't know if I can walk away.
Alright, well, that's your choice. But I guess if I were to say if there's anything I need... Where should we go next? Because apparently there was nothing here for us to find.
That depends on what you're looking for.
This Blue Crescent Moon group? Or the evil Bright Shadow people? Whatever they're called, or something dealing with the Binds of... There's a lot going on. Anything? I don't know.
Unfortunately, I know not of a blue other than Felro. I know not of a bright shadow that is reductive. I know not of a binds of rhyme. Sounds cold.
Old. I guess they did mention something about ice.
I think you will go where you need to go next, even if it's not really set.
Great. Thank you.
I have a question for you.
Ask away.
Do you know a dragon?
Not a full size. I know this Dragonborn, and then there's another one named Mox. He's a nice guy.
So you do not know a silver-colored dragon?
I don't think so. Not personally.
What was her name? So unique. It's like I remembered long.
Silver dragon.
Melikea, maybe. I think that was right. She was here. She was here with a friend.
Do you remember the friend's name?
No. She was small but passionate.
You.
Bright red hair. Can't forget.
Can I make a history check on that? I know.
You can
Tough.
certainly try.
I'll use a luck point for this because I feel like I'm gonna roll bad. I'm glad that I did that. 'Cause that was one of those was a 4, the other one was cocked. Rerolled the second one for a 17.
17. You're a person of history, Sizik. So perhaps if anybody would recognize this, it would be you. There was an event that happened called the Penultimate. You're aware of that, right? Well,
Yeah, of course.
there's this group of people that you remember reading about that were responsible for stopping Penultimate. One of them was a short halfling with red hair.
Okay, now that I'm thinking about it, yes, I don't know these people myself, but hearing things, reading things, I do enjoy history. Melakeak, yes, I believe I know who you are talking about. And then the other one, the short red hair, yes, her name was Trisha.
Oh, that sounds close.
Trixie, I think is what it was.
That
Yes.
sounds right to me. They were here,
Yes.
I don't know, 17, 18 years ago, somewhere in that ballpark. They were looking for the staff. Fortunately, they were too late.
The staff.
Just too late.
What staff?
My gift. He gestures with the wolf paw to the stone box that lies empty on the pedestal. A gift from a friend. My closest friend. For he sacrificed himself.
Who has this staff?
I don't
The same
know.
ones who did this and...
I don't. It's gone. I don't know
And-
where it is, but it's gone.
Other than its personal importance to you, what makes this staff special?
Well, are you good at history?
Yeah, I would like to think so.
Do you know the Centrum Wars?
I believe I remember hearing about them, yes? Reading.
There were many things created for that dreaded war.
Oh, the armaments.
Yes, the armaments. But this one was created for life, not destruction. But yet it is still labeled an armament. It's the only piece of him that I have left. Or had left.
The staff, though, is for life. So someone took it. Potentially not for... Unless they want to use it to... Can it bring people from dead? Is that what
No.
you mean by life?
No, it
Or-
cannot
or-
restore from death. But it is meant to invigorate. It's meant
Why
to,
would...
meant to provide growth, opportunity, healing, mending.
Who would want to take a staff for that purpose?
I do
It's
not know.
actually useful information for us.
All I know is that I feel its suffering. I feel the sorrow.
I'm sure we'll find it and remove it from its suffering, and we'll return it eventually to where it belongs.
That would be kind of you. But Sizik, may do so, if that is your choice.
I don't see why I would have a reason to hold on to it.
That is for you to decide. You certainly seem worthy enough to bear it. I would give it to you, if it was mine to give any more. But I apologize. You're just too late.
Sounds like I'm 17 years too late.
About 25, actually.
Even better.
But you weren't even alive then. It's not your fault.
It will be found.
That is up to you.
I'm probably somewhat certain that that is actually what we came here to find. If it is that important, and why it would have been circled on the map. So it's not so much that it's what I want, but more so what is necessary.
If I may give you one last word of wisdom before you depart and I also depart. Necessity is only what it is because there is. There are needs and there are desires. Do not let what is needed consistently take precedence over what is desired. Do what you wish to do. Not what I want you to do, not what your friends want you to do, not even Stelia wants you to do. Do what you want to do because it matters to you. Because you want to do it. Do not lose the passion. Lose the hope. Take care, Sizik. It has been nice to talk to you. I have not conversed with a mortal in quite some time.
Hopefully it will happen sooner than it did in this instance.
I certainly hope so. Good luck on your journey, wherever it may lead you.
Thank you.
And the wolves back away from your position. They leap back up onto their pedestals, and their bodies stiffen back into just inanimate stone.
Huh.
So, Sizik.
Hmm.
What was up with that?
That was a very long conversation you had with that wolf.
You were standing here
kinda
for like 30 minutes.
What the dog doing?
Yeah, what the dog doing?
I knew somebody was going to say it.
God damn it.
Paloma, you did hear every word of that conversation, just so you know.
There was a lot of like cryptic personal advice. We seems like we came
the
here
wolves.
looking for from the wolves. It seems like we came here looking for a staff that is no longer here. It was taken about
Was it-
25 years ago.
Was it good advice?
It was very cryptic. It was
Oh.
useful, but also it was along the lines of choose your own path, follow your heart, stuff like that.
Understandable.
All right.
This
Did we get any useful information?
this staff that was here is one of the. If any of you are at all versed in any sort of history, you may have heard the terms armaments, the armaments of creation. The staff that was here is one of those, but was taken 25 years ago or something like that, and is currently suffering.
Staff is
And
suffering.
I believe that is why this place was circled on Tony's map.
For the
So that's-
staff?
I don't think this place.
It
was
wasn't.
this?
Nope.
It
There
wasn't.
was two in the south in.
Then why did we come to Eighth Loon?
Because Pura said he might have. There was some artifact or something that his people guarded, and that's what they came to steal many years
Is
Oh.
ago.
what Galavar? Galavar.
Gavavar.
Galavar. Ah, I got it right. Okay. The
Oh,
Galavar
I am so lost.
was looking for.
Oh,
It's okay.
So this place wasn't even circled.
No.
Got it. Wow. That is disheartening.
All of these squares make a circle.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. We came all this way to just
We lost
nothing.
sister and almost lost Pura. I lost an eye because some old friend told you there was an artifact here. It was not necessarily even needed for us to come this way. Good to know.
I think we need to check our info a little bit more closely before we do this.
I mean, what info?
Also true.
We really didn't get much, other than this staff that is not being used properly. It is a very extremely powerful armament created by the gods to assist during a war.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it
Do we have
Sounds
any
like-
clues on its whereabouts, or are we just in the dark here?
If the wolf had given me a clue, I would give you the clue. They have
Amazing.
no idea. I did get
I-
this nice necklace, though.
Oh, that's fair enough. Maybe it's important or something.
What exactly does it look like?
It is a little piece of like wood, like a limb that was cut into a little disc, and it depicts a couple of leaves and a tree on it. It is called the Spell Root Pendant, which you can add to your inventory.
Okay.
is it a piece of Laura?
Excuse me?
Is it a piece of what's Yeah. Melora, right? The goddess of Earth in the big tree.
Yep. And not a piece of her.
No.
At least not that it looks like. I mean, it's a
No.
piece of a tree, but
I know that tree.
yeah. Sizik,
So-
you feel a chuckle in your mind. And then just the echo of his voice as you begin to depart. So that's what you're looking for.
What?
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 So there's nothing else here?
Oh, allow me to help you.
Okay.
Close your eyes.
Do you mean my eye?
You have two eyelids.
That you
Well,
know
it
of.
was already dark. But okay.
Focus.
On.
A forest.
Any
Focus
forests?
Any forest.
Sure.
When you open your eyes, you are standing in a forest. Dense pine trees, occasionally an oak or two, dot your surroundings. Wait. Anaris rises. Rise. Anaris rises. Day and night, over and over and over again. Time is condensing into one moment just so you could witness. And one day, a streaking ball of fire comes across the sky, crash lands in the forest. You feel the splinters of wood go right through your body, scattering around. Doesn't hurt you, just you feel the impact that it made. And one dragon scale lies in the crater.
Huh.
Then the outline of someone that just ethereal to you comes in almost celebration, finding this. Clamber down into the pit, and with gloved hands scoop up this dragon scale, the size of someone's head, and they put it in a bag and vanish once again into the woods. And you're brought back to the temple, friends. That is all that I can tell you, for it is all that I know.
Okay. Does anybody know of a forest with a bunch of pine trees and a few oak trees where there was a big old crater from something that fell from the sky?
They both go, wait a minute.
I may know. Okay, well, first thing, actually, do I remember seeing those at the crash site of the airship?
No crater. Very much lots of pine trees.
Okay,
no oak trees though.
So I know that the trees back where I'm from were pine, and so if there's some pine and some oak, then it's going to be on some like little. There's a zone where that kind of description matches. We look along that zone on a map. If there's any kind of crater, it'll be there.
There's a lot of pine and oak trees on this entire continent.
Yeah.
This is why.
But do any of them fall within a red circle?
Yes. Multiple. I think all of them, actually.
That's hilarious.
Great.
Then we go to
Sizik-
one of those.
Sizik, were you talking to again?
I closed my eyes and then
Fair enough.
saw
I-
that.
You know what? I've decided I don't want to know. I don't want to know anymore. I have too much information in my head as it is. No more.
All right. So, long story short, there's nothing else here.
Yes, that's correct.
All right. Let's get out of here. Take what we can, and then try to find. Honestly, probably some good camping ground.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
But no large crater sounds familiar to anyone.
I doubt it, but could I make a history check?
You can certainly try.
Should I bother using luck?
No.
Okay.
Can we all make a history check?
Yeah, you can all make history
And it's
checks.
surprisingly not bad. But I doubt to pass.
At least you're going to be individual checks because it's not a group check.
An 18.
18. Okay, noted.
21.
Noted.
What check is this again?
History.
History, if you'd like to make one.
I would. Owunul's great at history, don't you know?
Huh.
That's the 13.
Okay. Paloma, Sizik, Pura.
9.
9. Okay. Pura, actually,
Above a 10.
sorry, you can roll with advantage.
Oh.
I rolled a nat 20 for a
Okay.
24.
Okay, noted.
My God.
Thank you, blue die.
A 12.
I'm
12.
gonna dab a
Okay.
blue die.
And then Paloma,
4.
4. Okay. Sizik and Altrix. There is a vague familiarity. A place that you were told about that I am having a hard time remembering if you've ever been. But a long time ago. And when I say a long time ago, I mean a couple of weeks ago, when our adventure first began. There was a clearing in the forest, just to the east of Provenere, where a couple of bodies were found.
That's where.
And that forest, that clearing, though it is now overtaken by grass, is oddly the same circle shape as what you would expect a crater to be. But, given the passage of time, nature has reclaimed its ground. New trees have begun to grow, new grasses, dirt has shifted and settled in again. So only vaguely do you remember a spot.
That's better than what we had before.
Yep.
But that's that.
Let's get out of here.
I'll just like, we're going away now.
Okay.
I stopped by the
Okay.
sapphires on
Sounds
the
good.
way out. I'm taking them. I'm getting something out of this.
Okay. Sure. You pry up 27 sapphires. Off
Is
the
that on
floor.
top of the one I already had?
Yes, now you have 28.
Sick. All right, guys,
They
we got
are-
a haul.
Now, note that these are unrefined sapphires, so they're worth far less than just, nice cut sapphires.
Well, otherwise the haul would have been whatever was on Evadin's corpse. So
Yeah, I guess.
I'm getting some out of this. Also, I'm on our way back to the temple. I'm grabbing the freaking headpiece
Circlet.
or whatever.
Yep, okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. The beam of light
Yes.
is cut off.
The temple sinks into the swamp.
Good.
Good
Should.
riddance.
So, where to now?
We camp. We make camp, and then we decide in the morning, because I have to grieve a fucking loss. The sleeping is unrelated. I just need time.
We all need to rest, recover,
Take a step
figure
back.
out what
Reconsider.
next.
Yeah.
I guess if we do make camp, then I'm gonna go try to find my old house.
All right. Just don't. Just take care of yourself. Use the chatter crystal if you're in danger.
Are you all returning to Aethlune proper, or are some of you staying nearby this sunken temple?
No. The Sunken Temple
feel
is
like
bad
we-
juju. Bad juju. Stay away.
Yep, I think we're all heading back to Aethlune to camp.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, Pura, you do find your house, or what's left of it. A house that was built at the base of a large swamp tree. A second and third floor that was built around the tree. Very much a elven style. But now it is just planks of wood. The tattered pieces of cloth that you can pull from the earth itself. You sit in remembrance. What happened here. And each of you find a spot throughout Aethlune to make camp, to sit down, to think about all the things that have led to here and all the things that may lead afterwards. You take time to mourn, time to contemplate, time to plan, time to cry, time to smile. And in your loneliness, all of you can rest assured that there is at least one comfort here in the middle of the swamp. That the people that you care about, that you love, perhaps, are not that far away. And all of you turn into the... And that is a good time to end our episode. Thank you very much for joining us. We will see you next week. And as a reminder, the adventure continues. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
See you around.